Yo,
All right.
Wait for it.
No vengan para acá, ¿viste?
I'm never coming back here.
Sangamos. Get out of here, bro. Pasan.
Who's that?
What's up?
Did any of them?
Probably someone got shot or some shit.
Whoa, buddy! I think it's the last one here.
What the fuck?
Well, you're the one who put this one in.
He's good.
You don't even remember. Oh no, it didn't look like you. It was so good, eh?
Knock your quiz ass out. I bet you will. Get a gloves.
Okay, let's move on to the chair. We'll watch these later.
All
We're already
right.
2 hours. We have a long
How
show.
did this happen? How did this happen? Holy f, we're 2 hours in.
I know.
All right.
I'm like, oh, we're running out of time.
Here we go. We're in the miscellaneous Jer folder. So here it is. Return of the mac and cheese. Jeremy's arch nemesis. Where were you when quartering.com was killed? Where were you when quartering.com went down? Jer couldn't pay the domain fees. He's broke as a joke. Yes! Quartering was on a boring stretch for a couple of weeks, but now it feels like everything is happening all at once. The quartering.com has been wiped back to a default WordPress template. Hello, world. Here you can see it blown up on our next slide. Not even kidding. Okay. This was what he promoted over and over again. You could join for $6 a month. Bish quartering fan scam. Once again, no refunds. Here it is, reported by Meme Copium.
And I called
Self-felt alert. We all knew this was coming. It only made sense. The quartering has been put in shorts jail after getting struck on 3 shorts for content theft. Jeremy Hambly panicked and privated all his shorts yesterday. After being goaded by the A-logs into relisting them, the YouTube system has flagged him for suspicious uploads. He can barely break 100 views on shorts now. There are very few cases of real shadow banning, but this is one of the ways short manipulation will trigger it. And there it is, 24 views 2 days ago, 160 views 2 days ago. Here we can see some other numbers. If you zoom in, not looking so good.
4.5 is the biggest one, but that's it. 600.
And then if you go to the next slide, I have some other examples of some of the shorts that he's been putting out.
31.
We have 84 views, 31 views, 1.4K, 529, 581. And remember, these pay out on 1 million views, I think, $10. Is that what they pay? Or is it $30 per?
I think it was 25.
Something like that. It's like
average.
20 or $30 per million short views. So if you're only getting 500, 1,000 views on a short, you're not even making like 2 cents.
Ash!
Ooh, the numbers aren't good, man. 11, 9, 31,
96 on this one.
So you got to remember, back in December, which at the time was his lowest month ever that he said was completely unsustainable, he was averaging about 100,000 views a video. So now his top performer in July is what his average video was in December. 21K. This is not good. This is
one. His career is over. Was that one?
That one went, but that's probably one he promoted. I would not be surprised.
You're right.
Anytime you see one of his videos that actually went viral, you have to understand that he's buying advertisements for these videos.
For all of you.
So he's just bleeding out money even more.
Oh my, that's actually bad.
The germinal decline continues. So, a new feature on germinaldecline.com, upload cadence. This lets us visualize how many videos per day Jer uploads on any or all of his channels. Blue is long form, orange is shorts. But if you can see in the last 3 days there, it's interesting. Jeremy hasn't uploaded any shorts since July 28th. The last day he didn't upload a single short anywhere on his network was March 3rd, 150 days ago. which was the start of his short spam era. So Jer now knows it's completely over. He's not even bothering to upload the shorts anymore. He's done. Now, this is Kino.
Did you see? Yeah.
My knees felt super weak just watching this. Check this out.
Well, you blew out your knee there, buddy.
Wait.
What a gay thing. My knees felt weak.
Stole a parkour climbing video?
This...
Wait, did he? No. Nothing.
That's fucking real, dude.
Wait.
There's no transformative...
He mentioned
nothing.
his knees blowing out.
Yes, his knees hurt. Yeah. Okay, so this is Kino. Quartering's own sponsor, Phoenix Ammunition, has turned on the Quartering. Not just turned on the Quartering, not just like stopped paying him for ad reads and stuff, but has become a super public Quartering A-log. Felix Ammo used to appear in the list of sponsors on Quartering's website, and there was a discount promo code for his members. You can see all the very, Meta PC, Sheet, Coffee Brand, Coffee. It's that one right there.
Yeah.
It's that one right there, Phoenix Ammunition.
Phoenix Ammunition, yes.
Well, Phoenix Ammunition is now going at Jer hard on Twitter. So all Twitter interactions prior to 2026 seem to be on good terms. So this change happened early in 2026 when we were at the peak of Jer's shady exploitation of his fan base, but prior to him flagging down Kino. So here he is talking about Candace Owens. And, Phoenix Ammunitions comes in. How many times has she worn a maroon shirt in the last one? So they're still on friendly terms back then in December.
Okay.
But this is part of the reason why he is so desperate to silence us, because as this expose has happened of his life, his own sponsors have become aware of this behavior and have started turning on him. So, for instance, one of the sponsors is, what's it called? The Kids Guide. The Kids Guide no longer sponsors Jer. So they've reached out to one of the A-logs and said they no longer are going to pay Jer for his ad reads. Now, Jer in response to this, seriously, Jer in response to this has continued reading the advertisements, but the Kids Guide is insisting that they're not paying Jer for those ad reads. So in order to not give the A-logs a W, he is now reading the ads for that sponsor for free. Okay, so let's continue on though with him versus the ammunition company.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Next one.
I zoom that in here.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
So, Quartering back in March started talking like Muslim terror attacks in America, blah, 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 blah. And Phoenix Ammunition comes in. This happened specifically because of Israel's actions in Lebanon. So like it or not, we absolutely are being subjected to the ramifications of what the self-described Jewish state is doing.
Wow, Gabe.
It's Muslim terror. So they're just battling Jer constantly now on Twitter. Have been for months. Tweet after tweet after tweet. Look at this one. Holy shit, dude, your brain cooked. You can't think beyond step one. And it's embarrassing, to be honest.
By the way, they have 280,000 followers or something like that. And they have the expensive gold badge on there.
Yes, they have the Legacy Verify. I don't even think you can buy that one.
I think you can. No, it's like $20 or $10,000 or something.
Here they are commenting to Jerry, is the straight currently open, you stupid?
What the? That's his sponsor.
So this is his former sponsor has now turned to, I don't know why we never noticed this, but they've been A-logging him weekly. It seems every other week for the last 6 months. This guy, Quartering goes, the fact this clown is monitoring his ex-followers proves his opinions depend on whether or not he gains or loses followers. And Phoenix goes, well, how do you make your money exactly?
Oh, my God.
Oh, no, Jer.
And Jer's like, okay, I'm not going to block them because maybe they'll come around.
Maybe they'll pay me again one day.
One day.
Doubt it, buddy. So here goes. Please read this from an ammunition expert. No exit wound, right?
Okay.
So he's supporting Phoenix Ammunition even after they've been shit-talking him all this time. He's still cocking to them, bowing down.
This is it.
And here they come in the other day. Buddy, you literally have no idea what you're talking about. You're a podcaster. You have zero manufacturing experience, zero experience in managing a logistical supply chain of thousands of complicated components. How many missiles can we make in your esteemed opinion? Do you know which missiles do what? Which ones we have a lot of and which ones we don't? Jesus, man, how embarrassing can you be?
You got a professional ammunition creator, like a maker, like a
This is the owner of this massive manufacturing company.
Buddy.
He's just in his spare time A-logging the quartering. From all walks of life, from multi-millionaires to unemployed neats. Everybody hates Jerry. It's the national pastime, sweeping the nation. Yes.
Fucking follow them. That's based, bro. I see Don Flurgin following them too.
So then quartering goes, Jeebus, dude, coming in hot. Let me know when we have no missiles left. Phoenix Ammunition comes in. In other words, you have no clue what you're talking about. Got it. Our own reports say we have less than a third of the Patriot missiles we did when all this started. We make 35 to 40 a month. We fire 1 to 3 at each incoming missile. Even you should be able to do basic math. Oh, man. Pelted alert. Pelted alert.
I'm imagining, right? This guy's on his laptop in his office, and he has like a big window to the plant where missiles are being made, and there's guys with hard hats walking around on like
yes,
and he's on his laptop in his suit, and he's just A-logging Jer from the warehouse. Oh my god.
Okay, so here he is, shilling them over the years. Ammo from Phoenix Ammunition, 30% off.
Yep.
This is just from the Jerilizer.
By the way,
all the different
very sad super chat there. He lost his mom to cancer. The only thing that got me through the show, my snow plowing job was your YouTube channel. And thank you.
Yes.
So sorry
and
to hear
we got
that.
Cripple in their eye says Kino Casino meetup at Jer's bankruptcy auction. What do you think about that, Bish?
And by the way,
Lambier says he gets all his ammo delivered by Phoenix Ammo. They are based as. What do you think about that, Bish? Let me have a look here. Chicken Joe says he sent something via.
Oh, and by the way,
chat.
that sad super chat was from Jer's leaky hemorrhoid.
Chicken Joe says, I find it hilarious how pretty much every YouTuber treats saying the words Kino Casino as the equivalent to saying Voldemort in Harry Potter. Yeah. I guess. I don't know. A lot of people are friends of the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely.
But yeah, there are definitely some people like that, but can you blame them? It's a real scary program. The 400-pound man and the fucking Orski,
Fucking kid.
Anyway, let's continue.
Saying, did Ralph kill Scarlett? No, we found out she was arrested for 28 grams of coke.
Let's go! Let's go!
You get what you deserve. Sorry, but it's better she's in jail so she doesn't OD because she was at the edge of dying. Let's be real.
DDC 1911 for 5 subs.
Let's go. Big support. Thank you, DDC. All right, let's continue.
Okay, keep going there. We just got a bunch.
Okay,
next he shouted them out. Yes. Okay, so now we're going into Jer's show on Wednesday. This is one of the worst shows I think Jer's ever done. Here's his morning show on Wednesday. So Jer claimed that he was doing a double show. He was doing 2 shows to make up for the fact that he wasn't there on Tuesday. Because of, obviously because his shorts were taken down and he was drinking himself into a coma or whatever, right? It was Miller time. But he claimed it was due to technical issues. So he's like, I'm going to do 2 shows tomorrow to make up for it. Now, normally, quartering show runs for about 2 hours. So what does he do to make up for missing 2 hours of show? He does 1 show in the morning for an hour and does 1 show an hour later for an hour. It's the,
still one show.
Yeah, but he definitely made up for it, you know. Anyway, let's have a look here.
He looks upset here, by the way.
We got Notorious 8 for 5 subs.
Oh. Yo, this guy's...
Bro. Jerry, you're live. Sir, he's muted. He's muted! No! It's just Jerry! Wait a minute, Jerry! No!
Whoa, Kimo-sabe.
Oh my God, nobody.
Good day.
Oh, yeah.
Little
Bro, you look
pre-regular
so
show
sad.
right now.
He's so defeated. It's the pre-regular show?
Isn't his like, wait, hang on.
Little
His mic is blown the out. What happened?
pre-regular show right now.
Well, his tech is garbage.
True.
Mm-hmm.
We will have our regular show at the regular time. Just popping in earlier because I missed stream yesterday.
Hungover alert. Look at this.
Bro, he's absolutely hungover in this
Oh
moment.
my God.
If not still slightly buzzed. Bro, he's a mess.
Look at his face and every
barely
like spot.
holding it together. Oh
Jeez.
no.
Look at this mic. It's like just covered in like, lint.
So we're just
That's how we love to start our mornings, by the way, with Screamo. Yeah.
Look at the contrast between the Screamo and Jared just having no energy is quite something. Now, somehow he actually outdid himself on Friday's show and was even lower energy than this to start. I'll be honest, he's so monotone on the Friday show. It was beyond.
We're just having a little quick pre-show make up for yesterday, since there's so much to talk about.
You just said that.
Yeah.
And so much to discuss.
He's looping.
So much to go over. We've got come up.
Wait, he
just said it 3 times now. He is looping and looping and looping.
We got things, important things to talk about. A lot of things to talk about.
Oh, Anthony update.
What further update could there be? Bro, it's over. Like, there's nothing. Like, he's just trying. He's going to ring out the last drop. He's going to jail for 30 years, man. Like, just let it go.
The update is he's still going to jail.
Well, Hate Your State goes, didn't he have a new co-host lined up? There has been no update on the new co-host. He just stopped mentioning that. I'm guessing it was Chrissy. We all said it was Chrissy. Then she went on Tim Pool, and then she got flooded by oranges, and Tim probably said to her, "You can't do this. This is going to ruin your career.
Yeah.
Whatever's left of it." So she didn't.
Skinny's 25th wedding anniversary. Big shout out for you.
What?
What? Wait, what happened there?
Big shout out for you.
Very shout out for you. Right. Good one, Jer. Nice.
How you guys going? Very shout out.
Soon to be available on Walmart. Hopefully by
Walmart.
August, the end of August. We'll see.
He has no idea. He's been promising this for forever. We'll see. We'll see that it's not. You know, it's not.
But for right now,
2 more weeks, folks.
We'll see.
Get it all on Amazon. Lord help me.
Lord help all of us getting through the chair. Lord help me. Help me. God help us. It is time to stop, Chair. It's time to stop streaming, bud. It's time to throw in the towel. It's over. It's done.
Stop. Okay, with that, I'm going to log off and be
good.
That's
Thank
the best Ashcott Wednesday morning.
That was the Wednesday morning show. Went for an hour. We had 1 minute and 22 seconds.
back in
Those are the
40
highlights.
minutes.
What?
Okay.
Why even leave? why not just go Be Right Back with like a Be Right Back in music for 40 minutes? Like, why like stop?
Okay, so now it's time to have a look at Wednesday afternoon.
Wow,
Was
a whole
it-
3.5 minutes.
Yeah, pretty slim pickings there on Wednesday, but don't worry, he really stepped it up on Thursday to make up for it. So.
Okay, cool.
Good day, everybody. Welcome
Oh,
in
man!
to the 2 p.m.
It's solar. Good day, everybody. It's me.
That
I'm
shirt,
real.
that
Bruh.
looks like a like
It's
what the
like $5, 5XL, $5 shirt, wrinkled as. It's terrible.
show.
Stained. Some sort of insect bite on his neck.
How are you
or
all doing
something.
today?
You see
Yeah.
that?
Mhm.
Look at that.
pimple?
What's going on there, Jer? Acne on his neck. That's grimy.
Whoop, whoop. Well, it's
It's just a comedy of errors. Every fucking whoop, 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 whoa! He's like Mr. Magoo. Or he's fucking slipping on ice. Whoa!
Oh my god! Oh, someone's
He
high.
called it.
Someone's watching
A
us high
fishing
on
goes through
mushrooms.
chairs. Holy
Yo,
fuck!
yo, Chaos for Living in chat is high on mushrooms watching our show right now. Have a great trip, bro. Like, imagine watching this show about Jer on shrooms.
Turn the
Twisted,
music off.
buddy.
That's Kino.
I'm praying
bro. That's
for you,
Kino.
buddy.
That's
didn't realize
Kino.
music was still on. How are you guys all doing
Mike
today?
was on the whole time, huh? Jer, please, bro. Please, bro.
How are y'all doing?
It's
Ashton,
you just asked that.
I could see why on Wednesday you were like, we'll save Wednesday for Friday.
Yeah.
Because it's like literally.
There was nothing here. There was nothing to work with. It was just totally fucking brain dead. The lowest energy show of all time.
Oh my god.
How are you all doing on this wonderful Wednesday?
He forgot. He forgot.
He forgot what day it was. He paused on this wonderful
What is it? Tuesday? Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Monday, Tuesday,
Apologize.
Wednesday.
Humana.
Wonderful.
He's always apologized.
He's looking.
Isn't he?
Look, he's looking at the date.
He's looking at the calendar. What day is it? He clicks on his calendar, bottom right hand corner. Wednesday.
Look at that.
Eagle-eyed Jer- Holy f-
That's
man,
scary.
The darkness of those eye bags,
God
buddy.
damn.
Holy.
Oh, wait, Ash, there was one funny thing from his vlog on Wednesday. At one point, he goes, here's the color correction you do so your bags under your eyes don't look as bad
No,
as
he
they are.
didn't. No, oh, man.
That's the only funny part of the whole thing.
Wednesday. Apologize. I had some technical difficulties yesterday. Did an extra show this morning
Right.
as an apologize. And we're right back here. And participate in chat. It's a lot of fun.
Did he up that word or was that on? Did you hear that?
Let me hear one more
Hey.
time. One more time.
Did an extra show this morning as an apologize. And
An apologize. Ooh, swing and a miss there. He tried to make a joke. It's a terrible.
Was it a joke?
Well, he does this. He'll say store eye instead of story. He'll say store eye for sore eyes. And he'll say apologize instead of apology. These are the comedic stylings of Mr. Hambly.
Oh, okay. I thought he just had a mental breakdown.
we're right back
It's
here.
brain
And
damage.
participate-
Truly, but
Quirky.
In chat. It's a lot of fun. The chat is very
he's now begging people to participate in the chat,
Wait,
saying it's fun.
he's DSP. His transformation.
Now, guys, can you please chat? It's really sleepy in here today. Hey, guys, what happened? Where are you?
Oh my god.
Hello?
here. And participate in chat. It's a lot of fun.
Is it? Or is it really
is
boring?
it's super boring because everybody in there is like 80 years old or pretending to be 80 years old. Yeah. And if you try and say anything of value or if it's funny, you just get banned. So
all right. Here, Jer, you could look at the screen, Jer, and you could pretend and fantasize that chat is actually yours. Look at everyone. Everyone loves you, Jer. Everyone.
Jer.
The chat is a very chill place. Maybe it's not like other chats that you've experienced. But
I'm not like the other chats. We're not like the other chats. We're really slow and boring.
Actually read every single comment.
Because there's only 4 comments a day. So I read them all.
4 but.
What did he say?
Maybe it's not like other chats that you've experienced before, but
it's a chill and positive environment. It's a friendly, chill place. Now, guys.
It's like no other chats are friendly. What about like the family-friendly YouTubers like Maximilian's chat? Like no one's saying the N-word in Maximilian's chat. Except for me one time when I was banned.
Been having an absolute, been on a legendary run this summer.
A legendary lolcow run, more like. What are you talking about? Like, even he doesn't believe. Like, if you're talking about being on a legendary run, wouldn't you be smiling? Like, he's frowning as he tells us about his legendary run. Is that the face of a man on a legendary generational run of success?
Well, I'll say he's on a legendary run. Not of success, of like one man losing his career at the breakneck speed.
I believe he has legendary runs to the toilet. But more like waddles. I don't know, like, they call it the runs, but if you can't run, can you really call it that?
Yeah, Chigger Jagger. Yeah, I remember that. Maximilian drops the N-word.
Thousands and thousands of people every stream.
There are not thousands and thousands of people there,
thousands and thousands of people.
Okay.
Right. Are they in the room with us right now? King? Are the thousands and thousands of viewers with us? I think later on, on Thursday, he'll show us his chat as he talks about how many thousands of people he has there, and it's not moving at all. But it's...
How is there no self-awareness, bro?
Aurelius says the legendary run is to win lolcow of the year. His downfall is worse than iDubbbz. Yeah. He who throws things says he'll win lolcow of the year. That's what people are saying. He's like maybe the front runner right now, but maybe Ralph will, catch up in the next few months. Maybe iDubbbz will melt down again. Who knows? But right now, through the first half of the year, I think Jer is the front runner. Who would be a top competitor? Some people are saying Sticks. What do you think? Bossman? Bossman's in prison.
No one. There is no one who will beat Jer.
Blade could be, but he doesn't have the support to win the vote.
But he but he started low, right? Mm-hmm. You could get more points for being higher and dropping faster, right? So
Wings has retired. He's not gonna muster it. All right, let's continue.
Yeah.
Stream, and I'm so thankful for all of you. Things continue to move forward. There's a little bit of headwinds usually with that kind of stuff. People don't want to see you succeed, but
so are you on a legendary run, or are you facing headwinds and struggling and people don't want you to succeed? Which is it? Go ahead, Jer.
In the end, the truth wins, and
yes, the truth did win.
The truth did win, Jer. Like, what a weird... Go ahead, Jer. Continue. He thinks he's like a comic book hero or something. This is like Star Wars or Harry Potter or something. Like
kindness and goodness win, and
kindness and goodness win. Like, is he Kamala Harris? Like joy.
Everyone hates
we need to all be kind. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Like, this is like some gay libtarded. Guys, kindness and goodness are gonna win, guys. Oh, we just have to be kind. What's happening? Did Ralph die?
Oh my God, no. Breaking Jeremy. Hambly's no. Oh, there was a data breach on some website for crypto that has all of Jeremy's info that was just released.
Oh, well, don't report on that.
No, it's spreading. It's spreading like wildfire. There's no containing this.
What is Rumble Wallet leak?
He used no. It's not that. It's not like docs, but it shows that he used on a gambling website his wife's name to get to do gambling.
Oh, okay. Well, why? Because he was. I don't know. That's weird.
He used his wife's name to gamble. What the fuck?
What?
What the fuck?
Oh no!
But no,
buddy.
like actual crazy, like.
Oh,
yeah.
Shout out to my haters. Appreciate you.
You know, you like he's just so full of shit, bro. He's so full of shit. So this was reported by Don Flargandy and others that the kids guy dropped him, but out of spite, he's now reading these ads for free. So just wanted that to be pointed out.
.com.
Buddy, how is there every day, every minute, while we're live, still happening? Like, L. How many L's?
Yeah, it's just every day he's just like getting slaughtered. Like it's a bloodbath in these streets, man. There's just like nothing ever goes right for him. Like I don't even know what his last W was.
Look,
it's been years.
If he never took us down, I'd feel bad for him at this point. But him, he tried ruining our lives. Him.
Check that out. It's definitely a cool product. What's not a cool product is the COVID-19.
What? What sort of a transition was that, bro? Wow, guys, that's a cool product. The Kids Guide. You know what's not a cool product? The COVID-19. Who calls it the COVID-19? The next word better. Bro, like what?
Lab leak.
Wait, what?
What? Okay, hold on. So I thought he was going to say the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah.
That should have been the next word. The lab leak is not a product. That's an event. What are you talking? Like, what are you saying?
I am actually.
I know I'm ringing it a lot, but like, alert! Tard alert!
Oh my God! I'm just keeping my eye out for the.
Is the COVID-19 lab leak product? I didn't want that
product. What?
I'm really excited, to be launching on Walmart. After that, then I have to buy like official UPC codes.
Why is that, Jer?
For all my SKUs, which is going to be very expensive, so I'm going to wait on
that.
Wait
a minute.
But once
you can't afford these UPC codes, which I Googled it, and they run anywhere from $500 to $2,000. It's like you don't have like 20 grand lying around to be able to buy all these for your products when you're getting orders from Walmart. How do you not have any money? Like he has no credit available to be able to get these UPCs for his products that are definitely going to be on the shelves of Walmart. Like, what are we talking about? Like, how is he so broke?
I don't know, man.
He's done.
It's done. We'll be able to get into Target and
stop it.
Oh my God.
And my local grocery store.
Oh,
grocery store.
So I've got big expansion. We'll be in.
He's gambled all his money away. I'm
convinced.
All gone. I'm convinced it's gambling. Look, there's alcohol, whatever. Yeah, but while drunk, he went on blackjack or poker.
Just imagine just think for 1 second what he's trying to tell us. He is apparently going to be able to supply every Walmart, every Target, and every world market in the country with this coffee. And he thinks he's going to sell it through at all of these places?
No. Well, yeah.
He's going to lose. He's going to lose everything. First of all, he's never going to get on the shelves of even one of these places. That's the reality. And if he does, none of this going to sell and he's going to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's what'll happen.
Oh,
Canada. Hopefully by
Now
the end of the
Canada?
year. Oh. When are you going to debate Rex? I already debated Rex, and it was a disaster for him.
No, it was a disaster for you. It was a disaster for you where you admitted you weren't a serious person. No one could take you seriously. And you rolled over and showed your belly.
Look, you could
man.
Like, he knows that everyone's watching, making videos, and these are all provable lies.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you lying to? Not yourself, because you know it's...
Well, he tries to gaslight himself as best he can.
Here's how I won. I said I don't know anything about anything, and I'm a clown. I won. That's not winning,
Wow,
sir.
Jer, that's a real win there, buddy.
I destroyed him by saying that I'm a...
And Rex asked me to be on his show, which I agreed to do. The problem is it's during this time slot when I'm live. So
well, then why wouldn't you just co-stream it? You know, it's not like your show is any good anyway. You don't make any money from doing your show.
No, but he agreed first.
What a cope. Yeah, exactly. Like, what are we talking about?
Rex Jones felt scared daily now.
I think he's live when
Of course.
I'm live, so
always is.
I can't make it.
Likely
And I'm
story.
not really a debater.
Okay. But you embarrassed him the first time.
Yeah, you won
not
the
really
first time.
But why does he keep calling to debate like us and Yellow Flash and all these people if he's not a debater?
He backs out
and
all
then
the time.
And then as soon as everyone's like, okay, well, come on then he's like, oh, no, I can't. I'm drunk. Okay, Jer.
I'm not sure what he asked me to come on the show. I agreed, but then it's during my live show, so can't do it. Well, in the doldrums of summer makes me really excited. The
doldrums of summer, guys. But don't worry, we've got the fall coming up. It's gonna save
About
it.
views?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been our hottest summer in like the 4 years we've been doing this
I know.
show. So
I know. We've actually had our highest average viewership of all time in this summer. It's the summer of Kino. But yeah, bro, it's impossible to get viewers during the summer.
You know,
like it's every season's a new excuse. It's the winter. It's the spring. It's the
cold.
Summer.
Spring.
It's it's hot. It's cold. Oh yeah.
It's Halloween. You can't go and do a show on Halloween.
Fall, when people are back in school and watching more live streams. When
people are back in school, they're going to watch more live streams. What a fantasy. Like when he says get back to 8, 9, 10,000. You never actually ever had 8, 9, 10,000 live viewers, Jeremy. It never happened, bro. Now on Rumble, it might have said those numbers, but even you had to admit after they took you off the homepage that those numbers were false.
You're wrong.
Bro. They're fake.
He has 8,000 viewers.
Right now. On the casino. Yeah.
He gets usually 8,000 to 10,000 on our show, right?
Viewers, which would be incredible. Okay, hold on a sec.
What would he
Viewers,
say?
which would be live streams. Getting to back up to 8, 9, 10,000 viewers, which would be.
Oh my God! Look, I'm a dreamer too.
Let's just finish this, please.
Incredible.
So boring.
Okay.
Holy fuck! We gotta get to Thursday.
Let me use a message.
I'm a dreamer, but God, dude.
So he's just messaging some random person, like 30 seconds of dead air here. Okay, now we're going to go to his Thursday show with Melanie Mack. Strap in, everybody. This one's no. Oh, buddy.
Scared the out of me.
Starts off. Look at this is the first frame
Holy
of the
shit.
stream. Look at how this is.
Okay.
Bro, he's just in love with Tobuscus. Like, I don't know why he thinks Tobuscus is going to save his career when Tobuscus doesn't even have one himself. Look at Mel.
This looks AI, bro. What the
I know.
No, even them on the sides look AI. Look at Mel here. He's like, am I actually part of this?
Is this really happening right now? Yeah! Awesome!
Glassy eyes, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that's scary.
It's like a fish's eyes. They don't even look real. Like he looks like he's taxidermied, doesn't he?
Wax museum.
It looks like those are like marbles they've put in his eye sockets in a taxidermy experiment. Holy, he's high out of his mind. Holy.
I'm
starting your show. Oh, my ears!
I gotta lower that.
Hi!
I got it so low.
Hi!
Gotta get amped up a little bit. I saw some requests.
Oh, great, great lyrics.
Nice audio. Nice audio mixing there too, Jer. It's totally good.
Sometimes when we deport illegals, they come right back. Great.
Whoa.
The lyrical stylings of Tobuscus.
He's nailing it, bro.
For some invader scum, so I figure I turn it down a little bit. There we go. Hey, look at that.
Even
Rumble
now,
Studio,
like,
incredible
what
software.
is this?
Nothing rhymes, by the way.
It is not, in fact, incredible software. It's junk, but and everybody who uses it says it is. Rumble Studio.
Oh yeah, it's the worst.
What are you doing today?
Good. Doing
Oh God. Good.
great. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
I'm getting a little of the keto side effect.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so you see this? So he's doing this. He's like, oh, I'm getting the keto flu. Yeah, I've been on my diet. So now I'm getting sick with the keto flu. Oh my God. Are you, Jer?
Well,
Are you, buddy?
Like, dude, what are we doing here?
Man.
Yeah, more like the Kino flu. Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah, I think.
I'm gonna have to start spamming some fiber. Let's just put it that way.
Spamming fiber. Oh no! We're having more toilet trouble with Jer. Supplemel, you're gonna be hearing about Jeremy's toilet trouble all the time, bitch. He's his pants, bitch.
Spam it. Look at
Oh
look at
my
Jerry. He's like,
God.
what is that? How does that
proud
make
of
you feel?
himself. Yeah. How does that make you feel, Mel? I shit my pants on the regular, bitch.
I had to.
Yeah.
She's like, oh.
It's like, yeah, okay. Go ahead, get it out of your system. She's just
No,
thinking about
don't.
that sweet,
Don't get it out of your
sweet-
system while you're live.
that sweet $500 that's coming her way. Which, by the way, this show was like an hour long. Like, if you're gonna pay her $500, at least make her work 2 hours, man. Holy,
You know, right?
what's the point of even going live for an hour? There's no point. Like, it takes an hour for everybody to show up in the first place.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
It's brutal, bro.
long drive, and I was like, I'm just gonna take some Imodium because I don't want to risk. I don't want to risk.
Oh my God. So we're back to the Imodium. So by the way, we were literally less than a minute in. We've had already 2 references to Jer's explosive diarrhea, both in that he needs to eat more fiber and he's eating Imodium by the fistful. It's just, this is immediately how the show starts, with him just talking about his stories again, bud.
Holy shit.
I have to pull over on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And but other than that, going good. Down 9 pounds now.
Yes.
No, you're not. So he claims to be down 9 pounds in a week without counting any calories, just by eating cheeseburgers without buns. This is his story. Does anybody
show us the
believe
scale.
this?
Show us the scale. He
That's
won't
like
show
he
us the
won't.
bank
He won't
accounts.
show us the scale. You know, today he revealed his weight supposedly. But it's like, if you're going to tell us how much you weigh, why won't you step on the scale and prove how much you weigh?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, it's nonsense. Just do the weekly weigh-ins then, Jer. Just do it. Let's show me the scale.
So I'm not even 2 strong weeks in. And I ordered
That's amazing.
I ordered a blood test machine to test for
What?
ketosis.
You don't need a blood test machine. So he's immediately like, let me spend thousands of dollars on a blood test machine to know if I'm in ketosis. How about just stick to the diet, bro? How about that? What are we talking about here? Like, does he have diabetes? Does he have AIDS? She's concerned. Like, first of all, like, if you are going to test to see if you're in ketosis, there are strips that you piss on that you can get for less than $20. Like, hundreds of these strips.
You taste it in your mouth, like your breath has like a vegetable taste, like smelling it. And
like you're in ketosis. If you're fasting, like you're automatically in ketosis. And if you're just eating, if you're not eating any carbs, you're automatically going to be in ketosis.
Yeah.
If you really need to confirm, you can do the piss strips. But again, with this guy, it's always like, well, how much money can I possibly throw at something? Just totally wasteful. How much did you spend on a blood test machine? What the are we doing here?
Yeah, no, he's in ketosis.
By the way, why do we need to know this? Exactly. What's the most expensive toy he can buy? Why do we need to know he has a blood test machine? Like, how about you just do your diet?
Well,
you know,
because we know he spent money and that he's really trying.
I know he's in feltosis, but shouldn't we be able to see the results? Like, how about he sticks to this diet for 4 months or so? We see all the results, and then he could have filmed everything secretly for months, like his weekly weigh-ins, and then dropped a video after he lost 50 pounds dunking on the haters. But instead, it's like he makes promises that we know will never be fulfilled because he wants the dopamine for doing the thing without actually doing the thing.
Jer avocado.
Okay.
I haven't done it yet because
he's in cirrhosis.
By the way, like he seems to believe, by the way, that ketosis can defy the laws of thermodynamics, that he doesn't need to quit drinking or count calories. Just as long as he eats 7,000 calories of meat a day, it's legit. You know, as long as he eats like 4,000 calories of meat and drinks 3,000 calories of booze, but they're carbless, then it's going to be okay. That's not how it works. He just has to eat at a deficit. Like, it's very simple, right? He's going to tell us about how he's been drinking. So he still hasn't quit drinking. So this isn't going to work.
Afraid of
I know, but you know, Brass Creations Foundry has a good point. How did we just go from guys I can't afford UPC codes to I just dropped thousands of dollars on a blood test machine I'm never going to use? We got Bird Talk for 5 subs.
Wow.
Over the Hill Ghostler says starts his show talking about himself and blasting trash music. Clearly locale of the year. Your boy Lucan says, "F you, Jer, let's go." Jeremy John decides for a sub. One Baba Booey one says, if there's a casino fan that works as a psychologist, I want to hear your professional take on Jer. Random Dude says, Jer, he should only speak what he knows. Fast food news. No doubt. One Baba Booey one says, let's think about this seriously for a moment. Is he lying about the debate to convince the audience or to convince himself? We always know it's to try and convince himself. Kruno says, my coworker said I was cooked for asking them how was their weekend repeatedly throughout the week. What a normal person is going to be like, what? You already asked me this like 4 times this week. What's wrong with you? But Jer thinks that people want to be asked, how was your weekend 5 times a week every day? It's crazy. All right. Continue.
Thanks, everyone, for the big support. Ash, tonight's show just got a lot longer.
In 76, or are you supposed to eat nothing but meat when you have gout? What is it, the body cam fully out?
Well, it's going to be out very shortly, but it's long. And it looks Kino. So, guys, tonight's show, everyone.
Body cam! Body cam! Body cam!
It looks, I saw like just a few little images of it, and we're in for a treat tonight. We're in for a big treat tonight, everyone. I'm happy.
Poking myself with a needle
You
and
could
then
just get the pee sticks. That's
Mel just hits him with the reality check. The truth. Why don't you just get the piss stick? They're so cheap. They're dirt cheap.
Buddy.
a little
I know
easier.
the sticks. I don't want to on a stick. I'm not taking a pregnancy
You'd
test.
rather take your blood?
So you
I
would
guess we
rather
kind of
poke
are.
yourself with a needle than
I
pee on
would.
a
Exactly.
stick.
Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Mel. What the are we talking about here, Jer? What are we doing, buddy? Holy pricking yourself with needles every day rather than pissing on. By the way, you don't have to do either of these things. What are we doing?
You would know. And by the way, if you're just on your diet, you know. How about this? Feel a little bit hungry, Jer.
I would.
That's
I don't want to like. I guess you are testing for if you're pregnant with ketosis or not.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So I guess it is kind of like a pregnancy test, but.
What?
Yeah, the
What? He's pregnant with a bucket of chicken? What?
Yeah, no, it was diarrhea. He has a baby.
Oh my god.
That things freak me out. But I figured I'll just wait because I read, like you could go into ketosis in 3 to 5 days, but it could take a couple weeks.
I am so sick of the word ketosis.
Oh, Andy, we're going to be hearing it a lot in the next few, or maybe not. Maybe he'll just drop this by next week. I by the end of August, that we're not going to hear it anymore. That's my prediction. Because this keeps going and going. It's just going to be terrible, buddy.
That's not even clever.
Or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wait till like Monday to even bother testing because then I'll be on it for like 2 full weeks.
Nice.
It was hard. I did a bachelor party on Saturday. I stayed keto.
So you got drunk.
I'm sure keto.
Yeah, he was totally keto at the bachelor party, boys. Yeah. Does anyone believe this? Nobody believes this.
Getting just a double cheeseburger, no bun.
Okay.
So this is his super healthy diet: is double cheeseburger, no bun. Was there? Look at him. Look at his face here, bro. Look at how felted he is. Like he's looking down into the like he's lying, and he's felted, and he knows. Like, yeah, man, I'm gonna lose all the weight on my patented double cheeseburger diet. Are you kidding me? Like, if you're gonna lie, it's like, bro, just like say you had some vegetables and chicken and rice or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. You had a steak, but it's like, I had a double cheeseburger, boy.
What a great diet.
And although it was sat on top of a piece of lettuce, so perhaps I have the cyclosporiasis.
Oh, maybe that's what you got.
Eat the lettuce, but I got the bug.
He's got the. He's contracted a parasitic infection that's making him shit his pants.
Wait, what's going on?
We're back to the. How far in are we now? This is the 3rd time he's talked about pooping his pants in 2.5 minutes.
My God.
We're averaging more than 1 poo pants reference every minute to start the show. By the way, this is all completely unedited. For a while, like I just had to keep letting it go. I'm like, whoa.
Maybe that's
that'll
what
just
it is.
help with your weight loss even more. So
yeah.
That he's going to be dehydrated from diarrhea. I was saying the only weight he's going to lose is water weight from diarrhea and dehydration from drinking. So Mel's on to something there, but
I'll just let the reel flow for a little bit as a state.
He's gonna let the Rhea flow.
Oh my God, bro, that's vile. Who says it?
You sick bastard.
That's actually gross, bro. What the?
Hell no! This guy loves to shit himself. He's in love with the poo poo. He really is.
Close to the bathroom, but. Yeah, no. Other than that, no weird.
Mel's laugh there was so fake, like it was so uncomfortable. Ha 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 ha.
But yeah, no.
It was like nervous too. She's like, "Can you please stop talking about your bowel movements to me?"
Look at that.
I hurt myself today, bro. It's over. It's never been this over for Melonless Mac, is it?
Oh,
like,
fuck.
Oh, other than that, no weird. I haven't had any energy. Like, I mean,
he has no energy. We all know. We all know you have no energy and you poo your pants. We don't need constant reminders. We just look at you and know. Oh my God,
I have no energy. Yeah.
He's energyless.
Day I texted you, which was last Wednesday.
Yeah.
Where I was like, feeling lightheaded. Otherwise, I'm locked in.
Love how Melanie's like his doctor, like medical advisor on his fad diet. Hey, I'm feeling really lightheaded, like I'm gonna pass out. What should I do? Imagine asking that to Melanie Mac.
Bro.
Melanie's gonna give you some advice that's gonna lead you going into a coma or stroking out or something, man. Like
her husband is probably like, is he texting again about that shit?
Johnny's just like, tell him to do this advice that'll lead to his death.
Yeah.
It's shots, Johnny.
Tell him to take a shot of cyanide.
That's good. And you can always, like, down the road, adjust things a little bit. If you find you want to add in a little more carbs, that's still fine. But if you do that, I would track calories. Which,
you should be doing that anyway. Jer, if you're not tracking your calories, bud, you're not going to lose any fucking weight. You know?
10,000 calories of steak?
No, he isn't.
Wait. Ever? A day?
Oh.
He's not tracking at all?
No, he's not.
What a diet, buddy.
He thinks that just that if you're in ketosis, you're going to magically lose weight.
Buddy, he's
no
so
matter how
stupid.
much you're drinking. Like, it's just dumb, man.
He's so stupid.
I appreciate you subsidizing my cheating.
Yeah.
So wait, he's already cheating. He's already cheating on the diet. It just started. So he doesn't even have the zeal of the convert to like make it 2 weeks. You know, he's already cheating on. He's like, I'm subsidizing my cheating on my diet. Just give up on the diet, bro. You're already publicly admitting to cheating on the diet. Okay, it's time to let it go.
1,200 calories of White Claw.
It's like that.
That's what he's gonna admit.
What?
Or co-signing it. It was just that one day, and I think it might have been that I just hadn't eaten anything.
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting anxiety about it, which made it worse.
What? Grown ass, he's having. This guy has anxiety when he's not eating. That's a level of fatness that even I can't comprehend, motherfucker.
It should be the opposite.
I'm losing my mind. I'm not eating.
The anxiety should be like, oh, I'm eating McDonald's.
You know, but he's like, oh my God, it's been a while since I ate. See, he's acting like he's going to keel over and die. You know what I mean? It's like, buddy, those stores will keep you alive for years, buddy. Are you?
Speaking of, look who broke in, everyone. It's Cloud. Cloud, what are you doing here,
I haven't had a cheeseburger this hour. Now I'm gonna starve. He skipped his second breakfast cheeseburger.
1 sec. Let me hear.
What's gonna happen now, buddy? Holy, we got Taguch says his sick joke about the pregnancy test. They both don't have kids. It went right over her head. Neither of them can produce offspring. And then J-Law says, bad Jer will surely GLP won it in the end. Is he too poor to afford it, though? Because you'd figure that's what he would do. But I guess not. And J-Law says, let's go body cam. Okay.
Both my cats just broke in like cops into my room like together. Yeah. Like they both just smashed into the door full speed.
And but other than that, that was over a week ago now. So this week has been good. I survived a bachelor party. I did have a few of the ladies' White Claws. Actually,
he's drinking ladies' White Claws, buddy. And by a few, he means like a couple dozen White Claws. Yeah, you know, I'm doing real good on the diet. I only had 15 White Claws this Saturday.
Yeah, no, it's a great diet. I've been cheating on it, and I'm drinking White Claw.
I'm on the booze hard. Yeah,
wow,
the claw is the law.
We're so owned,
bro,
buddy. He's
about to admit to the gayest thing of all time.
Okay.
And it's one thing with White Claws. Get ready for how girly and it's about to get with Jerry's drink choice.
Okay.
Carblesses, because White Claws
he's
still
drinking
have, like,
carblesses.
2 or 3 carbs in them.
Yep.
But the
carbless.
Okay. Carblesses have 0.
Buddy, just drink fucking vodka straight from the bottle. He's drinking a carbless? Are we fucking kidding? Gay!
Come on.
Gay!
look at you. That's good.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, I can have more.
That's good.
So he can have more. That's not alcoholic thinking at all. Mel's like, are you kidding me? He's like, yeah, so like if White Claws, they have 3 carbs, so I could only have 9. But if I go to the carb list that have no carbs, I can have 24. That's his mindset, man. Like,
buddy, he is fucking finished.
I survived a day at the casino. Didn't cheat there. Got some
right.
Back at the casino
he definitely
again?
wasn't drinking at the casino. This guy's got a gambling addiction, man. I saw he's down like $1,500 so far on stake.com. Stuff.
some sushi from their sushi restaurant that was questionable, but
he can't even get the good sushi. So now he himself from the bad sushi as well.
Parasite from that too.
It's entirely possible. I'm putting my body through all sorts of parasitic tests, and it's possible it could have come from anywhere. But yeah, I'm hoping that I can hit.
What?
You know,
this guy is so unhealthy that like that doing a diet is like a test.
Mm-hmm.
Like like it's like a lab experiment, bro.
10 pounds by the end of
the sushi, carbs, rice, or it's the sushimi, right? Probably
the weekend, and then obviously I know it's gonna.
I don't even know. Do you think he knows that rice has carbs in it? like, let's be real. This guy's not even doing keto. You know, none of he hasn't changed anything. Everything is the exact same as it ever was. You know what I mean? Like,
you don't think that he's sticking to it, buddy?
Buddy, come on. This is ridiculous. You can't even pretend.
I know that first jam was probably like just a bunch of water weight coming off, but
yeah,
I know
because everyone in the world said that. Yeah,
for the long haul. So it's not about like I need to just do it for a little while. It's just the way I have to eat now. So I had some family.
Is it you have to do it for a little while, or is it just how you have to eat now? Because those are two contradictory statements back to back. You know?
Oh man.
I was like, well,
I don't know.
You know, last night I cooked 2 separate meals. I made, breakfast for dinner, and then I put cheese on.
I made breakfast for dinner and dinner for breakfast.
He made breakfast. Buddy, he didn't do that. This guy can't cook. What the are we talking about?
You know.
Gunter Gerst Helmsley says, what does the quartering and a child molester have in common? They both drop their shorts. Whoa, buddy.
What?
Satanade says he hopes Jared gets by a pack of engineers so we don't have to do another Jared segment. Well, if that happened, there certainly would be another Jared segment talking about how he was. But then there may not be another one after.
I want to do Jared every day, all day. 24-hour Jared.
My wife's, but I didn't put. I know I could have put
a pack of engineers. That's funny.
Oh my!
Shredded some sharp cheddar, but I was like trying to be
sharp cheddar.
I'm so close to being down 10. I'm like, I'll just have no cheese on.
She doesn't care. Jared, she doesn't care.
No one cares.
This is boring.
Nobody cares, man.
You know what you say when you lose weight? You go, "Hey, I'm on a diet." The end. No one cares beyond that point.
Fine,
All
Hey,
right.
I had my protein shake at 2:45 today after my. Shut up! Shut up!
You know.
But yeah, this morning I had a burger patty I grilled on Sunday for breakfast.
He had a cheeseburger this morning, buddy. Wow, what a healthy living king, bro. What an example.
Please,
what a brave stance you took, Jared, by eating that cheeseburger. Your torch lost the way, bitch. Dirty old a cheeseburger for breakfast? What the?
One sec. Hang on.
Brass Creations founder, he says, get a Ouija board for the show. The Felton can continue from the afterlife. We've done that bit in Kinoween. We contacted the ghost of Gonzalo. Yeah, the ghost of George Floyd and the ghost of Coach Red Pill. Yeah. Sick.
People were You're gonna be your house is haunted. Your house is haunted.
And some bacon. So
sounds amazing. I mean,
yeah,
all things considered for a diet, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you know, I saw somebody in the comments on one of the videos that I was talking about doing keto. They said steak isn't keto.
It is.
Well, they were trolling you.
There's zero carbs.
I love the gaslighting of Jer.
He's like, it's keto. He puts barbecue sauce all over it.
Yeah.
People got a video of you running around at a train station.
Let's see.
I'm surprised the haters haven't.
I love this reference to the haters. The haters, they're going to put this out. Okay, go ahead, Jer. Here you guys got a really funny clip, I'm sure, guys.
By the haters, he means everyone except for them too.
Yes.
Trying to find it. Where is it? Oh, no. Oh, no.
He's lost the clip. So, Jared, this is why, by the way, you download your clips that you want to show instead of like putting them in a Twitter tab, and then when you refresh, it's deleted or banned or whatever. You moron. So now the whole bit's just blown. So now Jared's gonna try and think on his feet to get out of it, but he's not very smooth about it.
Yeah.
Hold on. I might have hit it because I didn't want everyone to see you. I think that's probably what I did.
That's it.
Right, yeah, it makes sense, Jared. What are you doing this weekend, Mel? That was his way to get out of it. What are you doing this weekend?
How was your weekend?
Honestly, just kind of the usual.
Working out.
Going to the gym.
You see Jared's impression of her?
Wait.
Working out. Like he's making fun of her, right? To her fucking
Shouldn't
face.
Jared be working out? Because on his
you
vlog.
Think, right?
His vlog.
Why is he being such a... Like he's being this catty bitch to Mel.
Wait. And it's crazy too. She just listened to you for 10 minutes talk about your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then you're like, oh, so what are you doing? Working out. Just heard you like for 10 minutes, had to hear about your keto diet.
My mom workout shamed you yesterday. I took her to the casino.
Oh.
What? Why are you telling her this? And what the is workout shaming? Is this like shaming somebody for being rich? Ha ha ha, you're rich. Yeah, I bet you can pay your bills and have security for your family. Oh, yeah. Must be hard to breathe the air up there. You're so tall. Yeah.
Oh, doing squats and bench press. What a...
Oh, you're jacked, bro. Oh, what a loser you are. Oh, yeah.
Oh, gym rat.
You usually get to go to the one in Milwaukee.
By the way, pause. Why is he talking with his mom about Mel? Why does his mom even know who Melanie Mac is?
Crazy.
That's
actually, she's my work wife who teaches me about keto.
The casino. Oh. She doesn't usually get to go to the one in Milwaukee because she doesn't like to drive in the city. And she's like, Mel, she doesn't need to work out. She's like a stick.
What an asshole! Why is he saying this to her? Bro! Whoa! This is the thing though, right? Like he talks about loyalty and how everybody has to sweep for him and, they can't say anything mean about him or they're a bad friend. But then he immediately always humiliates his co-hosts and goes after their insecurities, right?
Yeah.
Like when he talked about how he wasn't attracted to Melanie, he couldn't have been because her boobs weren't big enough. Remember?
Yeah, exactly.
And now he's talking about how she's a stick and how his mom thinks that as well. Like trying to give her insecurity or complex. It's fucked, Jared.
But also,
you're a bad friend.
The gym isn't only about losing weight. It's about fitness and about your cardio, about your heart health.
Mel's gonna go into that and try and defend, but not before Jared gets a couple more felts in on her.
And muscles and your like mental like fortitude and stuff. Like,
I'm gonna tell her that.
But working out is for building muscle.
Jared's felt it every minute.
Building muscle.
She skinny shamed you, and I just let it fly because it was my mom.
What a piece of shit. Why bring that up at all?
I know.
And,
She is too skinny, but you're making her insecure. Like you're.
That's understandable. You're gonna lose. Otherwise, I'm just gonna lose it and become a frail old
Get ready
woman.
for this.
I don't want to be frail.
There you go. Yes, exactly.
Woman.
Listen to this.
you're already old. You don't want to be frail.
Oh my.
Oh! Fountain alert!
Bro,
Fountain alert!
that was
Yeah, like,
crazy.
by the way, like she's like Jer's most loyal janitor, sweeping for him at every turn, getting shot on by the whole world, losing out on connections to everybody and everything else. And this is how he repays her? By saying she's anorexic, she's too thin, and that she's also old. Like her biggest insecurities he's just harping on. Is this payback for Mel pushing back on him about his blood machine at the start of the show?
Or the gym and then like the muscle. And it's not about being like.
But this is exactly what we were talking about on the last episode when Jer was talking about how everybody betrayed him and everybody was mean to him. This is how he treats the people closest to him. And then he wonders why they leave him at the earliest opportunity to do anything else. The only person that stayed is the only person with no options, which is Mel. Anybody else who had any other options is gone.
Something that she's normal weight. She's a bit skinny. No, she's a bit too. Like her arms need a little bit more. No. I don't even.
This is like the fourth.
Six,
this is
six.
six minutes in, and this is our fourth or fifth time around the toilet bowl already. You know. So now Mel's gonna tell the class her experience with poop and pants.
Poo.
Those are nobody ever talks about those. Those are disgusting, and you're gonna make me feel uncomfortable.
Jeremy, most normal people aren't talking about their bowel movements regularly.
Okay, look, when people talk about they go like, I gotta use the bathroom, I gotta take a shit. Jer said a story about his pants and leaving a trail at Walmart.
Yes.
There's a big difference between I took a shit and
how dare anybody. But by the way, like the whole point of bringing that up is to make people laugh, you'd think, right?
Yeah.
So then why are you upset when people laugh at it and make fun of you for it?
Yes.
That's the whole point of telling the story, no?
Yes.
But in his mind, it's like, well, but you have to laugh in the way I tell you to. No, this is mental illness, Jeremy. None of this is actually that serious, right? But you took it really, really seriously as like, they're trying to ruin my life because they're making fun of my poo story. No, we're just making fun of your poo story. Now, we happen to not like you as well, right? But then he retaliates over the top and goes, well, I'm going to ruin your life and take down your YouTube channel and all your means of making money. And then he's surprised when no one sided with him on that. Because really what it boiled down to is you put your pants, which he's admitted. He's a creep to his co-host, which anyone with eyes can see. And he's a cuckold. He got caught watching cuck. That's legitimately true. It was on his timeline. And he has a guy who's a bull on Reddit, like who's in a swinging community for other men's wives over at his house every weekend. So because of that, he decided it was appropriate to launch a life ruination campaign and now complains when it comes back to him. Like, this is the mental illness of Jer. It's very sad stuff.
Was this guy Moto in chat goes, Johnny better blow Max back out? What? Why even say that?
Well, Melanie.
Okay.
I love her. Our chats make me laugh hard.
Yeah, Clippers, get ready. Watch the uncomfortableness on my face.
Okay, this will probably.
Well, no, you're going to be turned on.
Yeah,
if Mel's going to talk about her bowel movement, he's got his hand under.
He'll jack off. He'll be like,
yes,
go on. Is there more?
100%.
Me and my brothers, we were at our friend's house and we're all kids, and then one of our friends was mentally handicapped, like, or he was
like Jer.
and he
You can say
yeah, he had all over his pants. And so
he pooped his pants. So Mel has a lot of experience dealing with pants. Is basically what she's saying. She's saying she's been training all her life to work for Jer because she has to deal with invalids that their pants on the regular. Okay.
Like, oh, we're running away from him, and he's just laughing like we're playing tag or something. And so we just like, we don't want to
sounds a lot like Jer.
Right. Because he doesn't.
Yeah.
But then we also don't want to get near him when he has all over him. So I just remember
Jer is so bricked up for
we
this.
hid in the closet that had one of those like the sliding closets.
It's like Michael Myers and Halloween.
Like those games, those horror games.
Okay.
Oh, Jer! I'll bring it back. Oh, poop on me! Nice one, Jer. Jer's the poop monster, buddy. The creature from the Brown Lagoon there, Jer. That was insane. That might have to be a sticker. They clip it. He's come the poop squad.
Yeah, so he's like, it's like those games, those horror games.
You're not poop on him. That's fucking funny, buddy. Poop on me. Oh, the shit scotch there, eh? Holy, buddy. He's so happy talking about poo. This is his favorite thing in the whole world. He's like, finally, Melanie's giving me what I wanted. My fetish is being fulfilled. Yes.
He should do a full show about poo. The Poo Cast.
He should. Just like, own us. He should do one podcast a week that's just about
like poo
He needs to own the meme to trigger the A-logs and the trolls.
If
the trolls will be so bro. Die. Honestly, I don't even know what I would do. I would just be so felted if Jer opened the cast.
Yeah.
I think we might have to stop covering him, you know?
Yeah, like, I know. Yeah.
That might be it. We might have to resign in shame.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the brown side or whatever.
The pupening there.
Someone goes, that's what this is, Warski. Fair enough.
What we need is the Jer underwear check. You know, I started making Phil do the underwear check at one point.
Yeah.
You know, we need the Jer underwear check midway through each show. He has to show us whether he shot himself or not. The problem will be every time he will have shot himself. So there's really no point. We may as well just assume. Like, we all know these dirty, crapped briefs there, the pooping.
People are saying in chat, Shark Cast, the Poop Files, Quarter Poo, the Poo
Shark
Vlog.
Cam. He's going to have a webcam directly in his underwear so you can watch it Brown Town in real time.
The Brownstone podcast.
The shartening. Yeah. The Brown Report. He's a fecal fanatic, a fecal philiac. Yeah. The Shark Cage, Brown Mirror, Slosher Cast, Scat Cast, The Dark Side of the Quarter, Daily Skid Mark. Yeah, we got some good ones here. Turd Talk. That's a good one. That's solid. The Dim Stool. That could be Jer's name. He could really, take away some of the Dim Fool's market share if he was, Anyway.
Or Turd Pants.
James, are you hide in the locker?
The shittering. Yeah, that's it. The shittering. Make it simple.
Because he was going,
how is everybody's bowel movement? That'll be his next catchphrase. How was your last bowel movement? Was it solid and strong? Was it watery? Was it somewhere in between? We want to know here on the BM cast.
And he has perfectly.
This is what he could do. This is the Quartering's poo review. So after each dump, he stands up and he films his bowel movement and he lets us know. Now, he could start filming as soon as he sits down. Like the moment he gets the urge to go, he should start filming. And we can see him waddle, like the intensity of the waddle, like how quick he's got to get there. You can watch him like groan and strain to get her out. The sweats, the goes sideways on him, all that. The struggle sash to wipe.
He has his intro.
A is for the anus that I
produced. It's done.
For the butt I like to
sit upon.
I can see it. And it has like various camera angles. Like there's the camera angle from below the bowl is Did you see the fucking waterfall of diarrhea drop out? He stands up, he films it, and he's like, "Now, guys, this was a 6 out of 10 poo."
No, you have to have the glass bowl. The toilet bowl that's made of see-through glass. So when he's shit,
I mean, at this point, he may as well, right? Like, this is apparently totally normal to make your entire content revolve around your bowel movement.
Yeah.
You know, right? In his mind.
The slosher view, exactly. The fish bowl toilet.
Got a closet, and we're like,
I clearly
GoPro toilet cam.
Oh my god, buddy. It's grimy.
Yeah, I'll never forget. Yeah.
Yeah. Hashtag never forget. 9/11 and that time a mentally handicapped person chased, had Melanie locked in a closet with a biohazard weapon.
Sounds like what you do on this show every day.
Very funny though. Her story is about running away from poo and hiding from it.
Yes.
Jared's is like embracing and like being part of
embrace the poo. Love the poo.
You know what I mean?
Be enveloped by the poo.
Her story, and by the way, her story is like some retard with shit chased me. It's like with Jared, right?
That's what I'm saying.
At a gas station.
Where's this going?
Let's go. Okay, at the gas station.
My sister used to work at a gas station, and this is a story.
You mean your bathroom?
Life is
his bathroom is a gas station. You know what I'm saying?
Station. And this is a story I later sympathized in life as everyone.
This really actually happened at Amfest. And okay, hold on. This is a story he sympathizes with because everybody heard his Walmart story. I love in his mind, everybody on Earth has heard the story of him shitting his pants in Walmart.
Wait.
Did you hear this?
Is there about to be a story about his sister?
Yes. We're getting another story, buddy.
She's a
swab the deck. Captain Jared's dropping chow with another one of his tails.
Ooh.
And this is a story I later sympathized in life as everyone's heard my Walmart story. She told me one time at like 5 a.m. in the morning, some old lady came in there and just pooped out of the bottom of her pants and just kept on.
That was
Was that you? That was you, wasn't it, Jared?
How could you
that
laugh?
Was like, you. Bro, come on, man. Come on, bro.
Keep it on.
So there's went into the fucking corner store and just pooped right on the fucking floor.
There's poop everywhere, including in our lettuce and things like that.
That's true.
What? There's poop in the lettuce there? But like, so Jerry eats poo. That's what he's admitting to. The poo will set you free there.
Including in our lettuce and things like that.
That's true.
Including what is probably crossing the border.
Whoa, the immigrants are made of poo! Oh!
Is that the Spain thing? That was crazy.
Yeah,
God damn.
Reminiscent of kind of what we saw.
Spain is done 50,000
during the Biden administration through.
Wait, yo, that was amazing, Ash.
Reminiscent of kind of what we saw during
all
the open
future
border during the
rapists.
Biden administration.
I love how they're all rapists. Even Trump said, and some of them I assume are good people. They're sending us rapists, but some Jared's like, they're all rapists. Every one of them rapes.
I like the way he says that.
So nonchalant though, and then it's like big got him. But Mel's let's hear what Mel's has to say. Big got him.
Yeah.
21.
Oh.
What we saw in Del Rio back in 2021.
Big poop got him.
Big poop got him. No, Jared got himself. The big poop himself got him.
That was better than Big
got him.
That was amazing.
Oh, it was. Big poop. What a ending.
She had to think. I think I'm not
the great and mighty Pooh.
Holy shit, that was so funny, bro.
Platform literally says they want to abolish borders,
Oh my
abolish
God,
immigration
that was
enforcement,
funny.
have complete freedom
Mel
of
doesn't
movement.
know what to do
This
at
is
this
wild.
point.
Country.
Wow.
Wild.
Wow, you guys.
Wow, you guys.
What do y'all think about that?
Wild.
Oh my
What do you
God.
think about that?
Oh.
This is all she has.
Oh.
She's got nothing.
No, that's crazy though. I definitely wouldn't want none of that happening here.
No shit. Like, wow, Captain
What
Obvious,
a brave
like,
stance you
know,
took,
like,
Mel.
what the
Yeah,
fuck?
your torch lights the way.
No shit. With Mel, get it?
Yeah, there's
Jeremy
no-
Hambeast for 2000. He says, Excrement Explained with your host, Jeremy Hamplanet, your number 2 source for digesting the latest in plop culture news and behind the bowl info. That's sharp. And we got Pre-Dawn Corpse. Here comes the Jer Squatch with his feces. He thinks they taste like Reese's Pieces, King. By God, he has snapped the toilet bowl in half. We got another 2 subs from Pre-Dawn Corpse. Punk Monkey says Jer bangs his cats while fantasizing about Mel. This Octavia Seltzer, Jeremy's PUA style nagging isn't working. Scrimping Kick says, imagine not
It's Poo-UA. Sorry.
Spreading rumors of Coach Red Pill sightings in the Big 2-6. He lives. CRP sighted in Vladivostok. I want to believe. Jer's Stretch Trampoline says Mel is like a preschool teacher talking to Jer like he's a preschooler right off the short bus. Let's go. Let's get some subs!
As someone said, Poo-UA is a solid joke, Andy. Actually, it's not
Poo-UA.
solid at all.
It's watery.
No women, there's no females. It's just all a bunch of dudes. There we go. Yay, you're back.
There, yeah, I don't know. Next week I'm just gonna dial in my DSLR camera because this camera problem is too much.
Yeah.
How many problem with the camera?
He's gonna dial it in. What does that even mean?
Like,
what are we
dial in the
talking
coffee
about?
flavors? Is that what he's-
Oh my God.
Wait, what?
DSLR
It's
camera.
obviously not the
I don't know.
camera, Jer.
Next week I'm just gonna dial in my DSLR camera.
Dial in. You're right, Ashton. What the does that mean?
Don't know.
And by the way, buy the mirrorless, you poor. I'm just kidding, man.
Problem is too much.
Yeah.
He's broke.
I've never even looked at my wedding photos. I don't think.
What?
Ever?
Bro, why would you admit that?
That's crazy.
It's just a totally dead marriage, bro. Like, you
That's
never want to look back
sad,
on those
man.
memories. Holy, bro.
That's
His
fucking
wife's
sad.
already gone.
Like I paid thousands of dollars for
Wait,
photography, and
just
then
think about this, right? Don't most people have their wedding photos like on their wall? Or like in a
Vanity,
frame?
like
Like one of those in a standee or whatever
your-
he doesn't have any pictures of his wedding at his house.
What?
I haven't seen any actually when he goes around his house at all.
Dead marriage.
It's a totally dead marriage, isn't it?
Come on.
it's so expensive, and then I'm just like, it just sits in the closet. I'm like, we paid like
In the closet.
Whoa.
What the
$900 an album or something like that. It was very expensive.
Well, how many albums?
But
What
anyway,
the
yeah, this is
What a
major
piece of
problem. You
shit.
see the
Anyway, look at Mel feels bad for Jared's
Anyway.
wife there. You can tell. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that sad.
Yeah, this is a major problem. And you see, this is growth in it very bad. By the way, if you are watching us on the Rumble homepage, you're an absolute hero. But
why are they a hero? The thing is, they have no choice. Because if they're on the Rumble homepage, you're automatically playing. So they're a hero for an involuntary decision? Like, imagine saying, you're a hero. You're like a war veteran. Thank you for your service and being on the homepage of a website.
Okay, well, how many
It's so
donos?
pathetic.
How many donos?
This groveling though to the audience, just like bowing and licking their shoes. Like, bro, if they like the content, they're going to follow, they're going to watch. but you have to beg people to watch because you're a loser.
Yeah, how many donos did he get? $50?
None. And Andy, he doesn't get any. It's always under Andy, it's always under like $20, man. He gets like a couple $2 ones, mostly trolls.
God damn.
And then at best he'll get like one $10 at best.
Worse than DSP.
Much worse. Much worse, bro. Like Phil actually does get some donation.
Yeah.
He gets none.
Do me a favor. Look at us there. The click on the title of the video.
Okay.
So
is he gonna show people how to follow?
Yeah.
He goes, kick it.
What he's gonna do is he's gonna expose how dead his stream is for allegedly having all these thousands of viewers.
So you come through to the actual video where we're live.
So now look at his chat.
In the chat.
It's not moving.
We read the chat. We love.
It's not moving.
Look at the dislikes.
There's way more dislikes than likes. And chat's not moving, but there's allegedly like 7,000 people there.
And then there's a green follow button down below the video.
See, look, it's moving a little bit.
By the way,
like that's,
Doctor,
isn't that crazy though? It moved maybe like 3 or 4 chats, maybe. Like it's just dead. It's totally dead. It's not a real live stream, Jer. I'm sorry, bro.
Is that Lauren from that
yeah,
show?
that's Lauren Witzke, but she was like one of the AF people, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right?
But she's she's calling out this conservative thought or
believe
whatever.
Me, on Twitter it's all I've oh my God,
yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Pump, you're not muted. I can see you, but now you should be muted. Anyway, you know,
so he's using how petty that was. He's like, "Oh, you're not banned, but now you are banned."
I can see you, but now you should be muted. Anyway, you know, the thing about pornography, you know, like I'm not as hardcore as I should be about like,
because you watch it every day. Like, why are we even pretending you're against it, bro? We've seen you be caught multiple times on your Twitter feed looking at. Just the other week, we caught you the noises of playing through your speaker, like, and now you're just openly like, well, I'm not as hardcore against it as Melanie. Well, that means you're not against it then, are you, bud? Holy.
This guy jacks off every day, bro.
Are we really trying to pretend he's not a gooner? Like when he's constantly talking about women's feet and all this like, come on, man. Come on.
Disavowing it. I try to be more like, it never leads to anything good. Trent, do you have any idea how much your coffee will cost in Canada? Coffee here is $30.
Oh, here we go.
Coffee. I'm going to keep it the same price plus whatever tariffs I have to pay. So I imagine it'll be probably around $20.
No, it won't. No, it won't. 20. It's not. If it's $20 US, then it's like 35 Canadian dollars plus tariffs.
Yeah.
It's not going to be 20 Canadian dollars. And if it is 20 Canadian dollars, then it exposes his whole thing about profit margins is a lie, because that'll be like less than 15 US dollars. So he'd be like losing $5 or $6 a bag based on what he's saying. So either his profit margins are a lie and he's marking it up way beyond what he is, and so he's able to afford to sell it at 20 Canadian dollars, or he's lying to all of us and is going to be like 30 or 40 Canadian dollars. Like, what the is he talking about?
Yeah.
Something like that. And we should have it there. I already made my first shipment to Walmart, so we'll be available through
No,
Walmart
you didn't!
soon.
No, you didn't.
Why is
oh
he
my
lying?
God.
And we're going to ship to Amazon Canada. If you're in Canada and you're waiting for Coffee Brand Coffee.
I am.
We are, for sure. We are. Oh,
we can't wait. No, I'm going to be your first customer, and I'm going to fucking all on the show.
We'll be there. You know, I don't know if I'd go into. I know it's a great
pause. Okay, pause. Let's bring it back. You guys are gonna want to hear this. Jer's hot take. So he's talking about a 16-year-old getting molested or whatever, or 15-year-old getting molested. Pause. We're gonna come back. I gotta take a piss. We're gonna finish this. We're gonna hear Bering's video, and then we're gonna go to the Ralph body cam, the JF stuff.
You
Stay
do
tuned.
not
DSP.
want to miss Guys, why not?
A is for the anus that I from. B is for the butt I like to sit upon. C's for the constipation every day. D's diarrhea makes it go away. E's for excrete, which I do all the time. F's for the farting that just feels sublime. G's for the gas, H for humongous ass. This is the alphabet of my poo. I's for the indigestion that I chance. J's for the joy when I just shit my pants. K's for the kids I dropped off at the pool. L's for the large intestines full of stool. M's for the massive dump that I just did. N's for the nasty smell that went with it. O's for the O-ring, and well, P is what's now flowing. This is the alphabet of my poo. Q's for the quartering who passes gas. R's for the rush I get when I dump ass. S is for the soiling of my pants and such. T is for the toilet that I love so much. U's for the underwear that I just shat. V's for the virus that I get from that. W's for the we, and oh well, screw X, Y, and Z. This is the alphabet of my.
We're back.
All right, here we go, guys.
Here comes Jer's hot take here.
All right.
You know, I don't know if I'd go into, I know it's a gray area, but she was 16, 15, 16. I don't call that, but it's
Gray area.
Whoa! Are you here? He's talking about ephebophilia? Oh no, Jer! That's a bad take, buddy. Holy sh- buddy.
She was
By
just,
the way,
she was
every
just
single
molested.
guy who makes this distinction between and a few tends to be a kid diddler. Just saying.
Listen.
Or at least, oh, now, guys, actually, it's a ephebophilia. Okay. Bring it back. Let's hear this one more time. Actually.
I think there's a different term for it. Is it hebephile or
I don't
all that pedophilia area? But she was 16, 15, 16. I don't call that pedophilia, but I think there's a different term for it. Is it hebephile or?
I don't know. I call it all pedophilia.
Ring it up! No! Get him, Mel! Get him!
Why even say this?
Why?
What?
You idiot.
Why?
I mean, it's illegal.
Yeah.
You know? It's illegal. I can tell you that much.
That's your only problem with
I
it?
could tell you that much. Okay.
And I mean, this guy was in his 40s or 50s.
Hansen would
I
have
think.
sat him down over it.
He's a guy in his 50s with a 16-year-old or 15-year-old, and you don't consider that. Jerry's gonna be, it's something different, guys. It's pretty disgusting stuff.
Why even bring it up, though?
I don't know.
Why even bring it up?
Just condemn the disgusting piece of
what
shit.
A piece of shit.
But now, here's what's crazy. Here's the whiplash, right? So we go from that, where Jer's not sure to call a 40-year-old age gap between a 50-year-old and a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
But he's gonna be like rattled that these teenage girls that are underage, this guy's yelling at them at a basketball game, and it's like, you can't have it both ways. You have to condemn both of these things. You can't be okay with the diddling and then be upset that Sophie Cunningham's teenage girl fans got yelled at by this. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be consistent with this.
Yell at them. You have to them. All right, Jer.
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
Jer Bear.
So now Jer here turns to the camera to break the fourth wall and speak to the A-logs. Get ready.
The Deadpool.
A-logs
he goes, there's a lot of A-logs in chat.
Set him down over it. Yeah.
I know there's a lot of A-logs in chat.
What a thing to say.
A lot of A-logs in chat.
Like, what a thing to say, Jared. Like, you'll feast, A-logs. You'll feast.
That big moment where they can expose me.
It
Why don't you
happens all the
turn your
time.
powers to good and let us know who this tough guy is?
So it's apparently
the guy you yelled at a girl. Who cares?
You know, like, this is what he's like, guys, why won't you dox this person at my command? Why do you keep calling out my scams and making fun of me? Oh.
That's retarded.
And with that, I'm going to kick everyone over to Matt Morse. We're going to wrap today's show.
Who?
And we're going to kick you over to Matt Morse. And
who?
Hopefully...
You know, times are tough when we're talking about Matt Morse.
Who's
Does
that?
anyone here know who the fuck that is?
Press 1 if you know who Matt Morse.
Well, obviously
like
he's a
code?
conservative podcaster, right? But I've never heard of, like, they invent a new one of these guys every day and they disappear just as quickly.
Yeah.
Like, it's the most AstroTurf garbage. Well, we got the Kino Grove for 10 subs!
Thank you so much, folks.
you enjoy his stream. We'll be live tomorrow again at 1 p.m. Eastern, so an hour earlier than normal. So make sure you set your clocks and go say hi to Matt.
I'm sure everybody will set their clocks.
We'll see you tomorrow, or if not, next week on Monday back at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Why does he go, if not tomorrow? Like, he's already setting up to cancel.
Yeah, listen, if you, I know our show sucks, but you can come back Monday if you want.
Have a wonderful weekend. Yeah. And
not the weekend. Okay, let's do Bering's video, or do you want to go right to Ralph?
Do you want to do a poll?
Let's do a poll.
I love Bering's video, but I really want to watch this Ralph. But
you want to watch the Ralph? Let's do a quick poll. See what people want here.
Well, everyone's yelling Bering. Wait.
It's pretty definitive. People want the Bering.
Let's do Bering. You want to know why? There won't be much commentary we need to do for Bering. It's a 13-minute video. Ralph is going to be like,
I know it's going to make him. And JF's going to be a huge segment also.
Okay, cool. Let's do Bering first then. Let's do Bering. Yeah. All right, cool. Here we go. A great video.
I love, this is such a lie though, saying bullying is gay. Bullying is based, Bering. Yeah. Soulful Bering. Soulful bitch.
It's for you too.
I know.
It's for you too.
I know.
See how you put the word bull in there? Get it?
Yeah, don't bull.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
All these people that called themselves my friends. Some of these people,
the music, the sad music,
in the like the old timey film.
He was my friend for over 10 years.
Yes.
We got Tommy C's cat for 5 subs.
Let's go, big support. By shout outs to Bering. I've known him for like 10 years, and he gave me a big shout out when I was like a nobody. So mad love. I always go.
And for the most part, the first chance they could get to make a buck off me in a time when it was popular to do so, that's exactly what they did. I could do a 2-hour video.
Why was it popular?
And lay out
exactly.
just how much of a piece of garbage just about everybody I've worked with is.
Okay, old bite. He's talking about me in a very passive-aggressive, womanly fashion. So the quarter.
This is the thing, right? Is he'll bring up Bering and then expect that Bering won't respond to it. And then Bering is a bad guy if he responds to Jer trying to drag him through the mud. Like, what's this mentality that Jer has? So Jer's allowed to talk all the shit that he wants in this passive-aggressive gay way, but nobody's ever allowed to say anything back. Jer's able to bring up other people's dirty laundry, but nobody can bring up his.
Or their
it's
views.
Just the fuck
To go, neurotic is actually dying.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about?
Drama continues. Now, I've only made one video about this whole thing. I've largely stayed out. I've kind of lost interest. I couldn't really give a fuck. The guy fucked up, and he's getting his licks. Surprise, surprise. Now, if you've got no idea what I'm talking about, you should watch this video.
Whoa, buddy!
It's a Kino video.
Us and
we
AI.
got Desi Eaton for 5 subs.
Jeez, thank you, Desi Eaton. Let's fucking go.
I think I did a pretty good job breaking down, like, the initial drama. Now, since then, the only major thing that's happened from my point of view is he sneakily deleted a podcast I did with him and Count Dankula. He did it to try and kind of reduce the heat he was getting, I suppose. But 7 or 8 years of this podcast,
silly.
right, just down the drain. Just
8 years. Gone.
Which, by the way, it was all archived anyway by the trolls. Like, I have the complete archive myself.
You even said that.
So,
you went, I have it all before he deleted it.
I don't know. I think ultimately what it came down for quartering was that he wanted to remove the mean comments, because every time one of these episodes came out, Quartering was always the whipping boy of the podcast that everybody made fun of and shat on. And he hated all of these mean comments that Dankula and Bering wouldn't allow him to delete. So his way to get rid of them forever was to just delete the whole thing.
There you go.
And then, like, that's what I think happened. By the way, we got Kava Papa for 5 subs.
Thank you so much. Big support this week, guys. Thank you. But
he tried to blame me for it for some reason. Like, he was saying, oh, thanks, Bering. Good friend. We've all...
Did we get bad?
This was the most insane thing ever, the Jeremy gaslight of this, where the story changed so many times, where it was other people flagged it down because he wanted to play the victim and use it as, oh, see, the casino flagged it down, even though it shows that it was deleted. So he couldn't do that. Then he claimed it was a YouTube glitch. Nobody bought that. Then it was that the editor went rogue.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the editor was... you remember, like, the editor went rogue and fucked up?
No editor, by the way.
No, there is no editor. He fired him a long time ago. And then it was like, oh, I can't produce the messages of instructing the editor to do this because it was on Signal. The convenience of that.
Oh, yeah.
It was insane. And then he expected Bering and Dankula to accept this big load of bullshit. By the way, he's trying to blame it on Bering here. Looks like the channel is gone. Thanks for fanning the flames, Bering. Great friend. The amount of flack that Jer was getting had nothing to do with the fact the channel was deleted. It was that Jer thought in his mind that, number one, he could use this as a counterattack to say he was being flagged down and he was under attack. And number two, he wanted to delete all the mean comments that make him seethe to this day. That's what motivated this, 100%.
Obviously been false flagged, and this is your fault, good friend, Bering. And that's going to be the theme of this video. The quartering is kind of he's a passive-aggressive, massive. Now, I'm not going to relitigate the whole thing in this video. Like I said, watch my previous video to get caught up on the whole situation. But Jeremy recently had some words to say about me. So I think a response is appropriate. Let's have a look. Let's go!
Everyone follow Bering, by the way. He's awesome.
All these people that called themselves my friends. Some of these people I had been...
I'll link his channel here, by the way, and you could...
And we got Brass Creations Foundry for 5 subs. Snow Puma says, Suffer Jazz, Suffer Bish, and Brass Creation Foundry for 2,000 kicks. Welcome back from your vacation. Glad to see you get some R&R. Belated a bit, but Friday is the only stream day I can catch live. We appreciate you being here, bud.
Thanks, man.
It's going to be a bang. We got a ton of shows still to go.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be like a 9-hour show minimum. Hang on, I'm going to link you. We'll see. Maybe, probably 8, but we'll see. 1 second, let me pin that. Everyone, sub to Bering. His videos I've been always amazing.
For over 10 years. Knew their families, celebrated the birth of their kids.
Now he's talking about...
Well, yeah, because Sugar Tits and the kid.
Talking about other people's kids. Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's Bering's kid, right? Bering had a kid or whatever. And he'll mention it here or whatever. So obviously, a quartering is talking about Bering his kid and Count Dankula's kid.
Yeah.
Do you remember what happened with Count Dankula's child?
Oh, we're gonna see. We played it a bunch of times on the show, but it's
There's
probably
no
the first
doubt about
time
it.
a lot of
Friends
normies saw it.
Yeah.
for 10 years, knew their family, he knows my wife, he's spoken to my wife, celebrated the birth of their kid, that's me. And later he goes on to say, oh, just to make a single video, you know, to profit off my downfall. That's me. That's me. He's just too much of a to say it's me. But let's talk about the celebrating of the birth of their kids thing for a sec, Jeremy. Remember this clip?
Look, I mean, I've been open. Like I'm 42. Like I'm not necessarily out of.
Buddy, do you miss these looks?
Man, she just looks around, just deer in headlights. Just can't believe Mel looks fucking depressed too. Holy shit! Look at her.
Time, but like, it's something you think about when you get older. And
having kids, great though. It's great.
Well, give me one of yours.
A weird thing to say.
Thanks for rubbing it in your face.
I thought we were friends. You have two. You only need one.
My oldest one's on
home run, Jer.
It's not creepy and uncomfortable at all. Like Jer, just like there is a way to maybe do that, Joe. He just does not have the charisma or the comedic ability to talk like that. Like it's just cringe and awkward, man.
Autistic, but she's like Rain Man autistic. It's fucking
I
great.
love it. You're gonna be rich one day.
Oh,
she's gonna invent like an app or something.
Like that's the thing is that she's like smart as fuck autistic, and she did something scary the other day. She talks and sings and speaks all the fucking time, like constantly.
Yeah.
But she doesn't verbally communicate. She'll take your hand and lead you somewhere and everything, right?
Yeah.
However, we've recently figured out that she understands every single fucking thing that we're saying and knows what we're saying. And it's terrifying. Like we've even
real fast. Look at him fix his gun.
Every single fucking thing that we're saying.
Meme Copium had a good comment where he goes, he says his first thought was to monetize the child. It's always on Jer's mind. How does he make money?
But look at that! Look at that! That is.
Oh my god! What a gun sack there, buddy.
Buddy.
You think he could just like move the webcam up a bit so we didn't need to see his shame quite like that? Is there really any need for us to see all of that, bud?
Terrifying. Like we've even had like staff at the speech and language clinic going, she knows what we're talking about.
Yeah,
she's
your
smart.
daughter was asking about what double penetration was.
Okay, buddy.
What? Look at Dankula. He's like, look at everyone. Everyone's like, what the fuck? Why? That's not good, bro. Is his special needs he's talking about? Like, what's wrong with you, Jay?
What the bro?
We don't know where he got that.
He goes,
wait, what?
Oh my!
Wait, what? Look at everyone! Look at everyone's rattled, bro. Look at Val's side eye. Just Hannah Claire's like gritting her teeth trying to get through this. Oh man, it's so embarrassing, bro.
I mean, you can hear those chicks audibly gasp.
Wait, where he got that?
Shut your Malcolm.
So let's just break down what just happened. Dankula, Jeremy's dear friend of 10 years. And by the way, Dankula's going to hate. I mean, he's probably going to hate that I've brought him up here. He doesn't like drama, but I'm sure he'll forgive me. Please forgive me, Dank. But Dankula is describing how proud he is of his non-verbal autistic daughter for making the progress that she's made. And you can see it on Dankula's face. He's so proud. His face lights up when he's describing this, and I know the feeling. I can relate. I've never told anyone on the internet this except for Dankula. I mean, there's never been a reason to. But when Dankula describes his daughter, he could be describing my daughter. My daughter is autistic, ASD level 3, mostly non-verbal. She's incredibly smart and outgoing, and one of the happiest kids you'll ever meet. But yeah, ASD level 3, mostly non-verbal. She's 6 years old. She's in intensive speech therapy and occupational therapy, and she's making really good progress. And when you have a kid that faces challenges like...
So you know Bering watched that clip and he like pictured himself
disgusted.
And his daughter, and it's like, why would you even bring that's disgusting.
Well, and a lot of people do, right? And it's like, what is Jeremy thinking? You know, and there might be a way to make a joke about something like that.
He'll say that right here too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But he just doesn't have the ability. Like, you better be sure it's going to be funny. You better be sure you know the person like that, and you're actually funny if you're going to do that, because it's pretty sus to talk about other people's kids like that.
Well, look, there is a way to say jokes like that, but should you be online?
You better be Norm Macdonald.
You better be like Gilbert Godfrey or fucking like
you better be like a god level comedian. Like, you know what I mean? Like, exactly. Even then, people are gonna take it fucked. Some people are just gonna be like, "That's fucked."
Like that. When they make progress, when they make some progress, you are honestly like it's indescribable. The pride that you feel. And that's what you can see on Dankula's face. Like, as I said, my daughter is 6 years old. She's probably got the verbal capabilities of like a 3-year-old, say a 3.5-year-old. She just started saying, "I love you, Daddy," in the last year. You know what I mean? So when they make these steps, it's such a good moment. And he's portraying...
That's the saddest scene in any movie, by the way. That from Interstellar. It makes me cry every time.
This pride to his dear friend of 10 years. And what does Jeremy say? "Oh, she was asking me about double..." You realise you're a prick, right? Like, if one of my friends said that to my face, they'd probably get a backhander. Now, let me just clarify.
The thing is, it's just so inappropriate. It's not really the time to joke even, right? Like, it's time to let the guy talk and be, "Oh, that's amazing, bro. That's so good." You know what I mean? This is just the basic common decency, especially when it's like your friend of 10 years.
On the internet too?
Yeah.
Like in front of thousands of people to say that? Your daughter
it wasn't even clever. It's just like, "Your daughter's getting double punished." Holy man, what's wrong with you?
I think what Jeremy was trying to do is he was trying to be funny. See, on the TISM podcast, the podcast that Jeremy deleted, when my daughter was born, I think the chat sort of had a running joke of, "Let's start the 18-year countdown." It was a...
That's up.
It is, like,
but it's the audience being disgusting, whatever.
Skeezy internet joke. And it was something you'd expect from a live chat, you know what I mean? And so that sort of became a joke. When Dankula's kids were born, the joke came up again. And so Jeremy was trying to sort of do that. But there's a big difference between randos on the internet saying, "Oh, 18-year-old countdown," and your dear friend of 10 years saying, "Oh, she was telling me about double..."
Isn't that crazy too? It's like, your daughter talked to me about
it's just
it's
cringe.
Like, ew. Yeah,
well, it's just
cringe.
it's just it's creepy, man, and it's cringy.
Yeah.
It's just not good.
Yeah.
After he was telling you about
and
how
not
proud
to mention, like, there's also 2 women present as well. You know what I mean? Like, and one of them's Hannah Claire. Who's just like a total that's not going to appreciate that, at all. Nobody really does.
They both are prudes.
Like, I said this at the time, like, even amongst a bunch of drunk guys in a garage, it's probably not going to go over well.
No.
Like, somebody's probably going to get hit for saying that shit. You know what I mean?
Your daughter talked to me about, and you're like, "What'd you say? That's a punch." Right?
Of the progress she'd made. Now, Dank kind of laughed this whole thing off because he was being a polite guest. He didn't want to make waves. I kind of understand that. But like I said, Jeremy, if you were my friend and you were in front of me and you said something like that, back of my hand. I mean, this incident was even written about by Luther.
Oh my God.
It was transcribed in the lolcow book by Luther Morgan. Available on Amazon.
Luther Morgan.
The Luther
what a
shout
legend.
out.
What a
Bering,
legend.
by the way, he shouts out one by one all of the most prominent A-logs. Luther, Don Flurgandy. Just lets everybody know where to go to get the Kino. We got the virus for 25 subs!
Go!
Woo!
Big support. Thank you, the virus, man.
Jer should honestly just learn to shut his mouth. If you're not willing to actually go to the mat with Bering or Camelot or us or anybody else, you're best off just shutting your mouth. Because now Bering is directing his audience, people that would generally be sympathetic to you, that may have watched you over the last decade, to the people that are going to expose all of your scams and lies. And that didn't happen in the first video because Luther and Dawn, these guys were just getting started. Now they're in full swing. It's like a cottage industry. There's like an industrial complex dedicated to owning you day after day after day. And Bering is letting everybody know where to go get that content. All because you couldn't just shut your mouth and let sleeping dogs lie. And what damage did you do to Bering with your backhanded, passive-aggressive nonsense? None. It was just a cry in a therapy session. Pathetic, Jer. Just so many bad decisions this guy makes on both a tactical and a strategic level. There's not one thing he's done this entire time that's actually helped him at all.
Morgan, in his book, the Lolcow book, there's a whole page on it. By the way, check out Amazon. I think it's on Amazon. It's a good read. Wow. But this has been published, Jeremy. My point is, you don't know our families. You're not close with us like that, or me and my family at the very least. You're a prick. Let's continue.
And for the most part, the first chance they could get to make a buck off me in a time when it was...
Luther has his next book. Luther, if you're here, Luther, your next book should just be all about Jer. And it's just like the entire like saga.
Is he even worth it? Is he?
Yeah, I'd buy it.
Oh,
I'd buy it. I'd buy it.
It's popular to do so. That's exactly what they did. And hey, Baba, Hucky, don't knock that over. But Ruby.
Yeah, by the way, it's a good point that Secret Seeker brings up here. Jer always says first chance they had to make a buck, as if there haven't been decades of chances to on him. Like, it's not as though Jer hasn't been getting drunk on a near weekly basis for the last 10 years on live stream and making a fool of himself. There's dozens of streams like this. In fact, Return of the Mac and Cheese clipped up 2 of them, where he gets drunk and belligerent and crashes out at Tim Pool and the audience. We're going to play those probably on Monday on the show. You'll see there's been many, many opportunities to make fun of Jer. They could have, exposed Jer when it first came out that his coffee was drop shipped from Mill Creek. None of them said anything. They could have made fun of Jeremy right at AmFest when he was making creepy comments to Melanie Mack, but none of these people did. It was only once Jer went fully beyond the pale to completely indefensible, where he's flagging down people's channels and openly bragging about doing it, and then gaslighting everybody into telling them he didn't do it, when it was obvious he did and wanted the credit for it, but not the consequences that go along with it, that everybody said no. And Jer's like, well, it shouldn't have happened. Well, you're going to see what his attitude towards this stuff was when it's not him. Bering's going to show you. Let's hit play.
I mean, you could just say nothing, too, during times of tumultuous stuff.
Yeah, I could have said nothing, but that would make me a massive hypocrite, wouldn't it, Jeremy? See, when Matt Jarbo flagged down all those... We all said something. That's behavior. Now, you... No, wait, that's not even the right wording. You were intentionally and arrogantly malicious. You tried to destroy the livelihoods of people. You tried to destroy someone's YouTube channel. And what me and a few other...
He did.
He did destroy our channel. His actions also led to the death of Mikey No More's channel. His actions led to the death of several smaller channels that I don't remember. But it also led to Camelot getting 2 strikes. It led to Luther Morgan getting a strike on his channel. It was ridiculous. And people were catching strikes left, right, and center. And then because of this attitude, it was revealed how easy it was to mass flag. Now all these creators are doing it. And because Jer got away with it, other people now think they can get away with it. So it was a real disaster for the YouTube ecosystem, what Jer did. Yeah. It was a really selfish thing he did. And it only made it worse for him.
People you called friends did is simply police our own.
I would be completely fine with all of everything that's going on, even though we may disagree on certain things. If they would police their own, there are lots of problems in each community, and nobody ever really wants to seem to police their own. They have shown that they won't police their own. So rather than police their own, they don't police their own, meaning
They don't get bad faith actors out of their groups. I wish they would police their own a little bit more. What has to happen is they have to police their own.
And if I wanted to make a buck off you, Jeremy, I would have made a lot more than one video.
Exactly. But for everybody else, every other group, they're supposed to police their own. Conservatives supposed to police. But when we start to police our own, be like, this is behavior that we don't find acceptable as a community because we don't believe that you should be flagging other creators down because it sets a bad precedent. It's a chilling effect on everybody's ability to talk the way they want to talk and make money. Then suddenly it's wrong for people to do that. The expectation is they should remain silent and not police their own only when it comes to you. And then Bering has a great point. He made one video. Bering could have made a video every day. Like we do it 3 times a week. You know, Dawn, I think, does 2 or 3 times a week. Luther's pumping out at least a video a week. Bering could do a video every day, every week on you and make a lot of money doing it. But because he was your friend for 10 years, he only made the one video. And now he's making a follow-up because you decided to start talking about him. But apparently you're the victim and everybody's evil and everybody's out to get you. No, it just turns out that some people actually did believe in the stuff that you claimed to believe for many, many years. And they weren't going to stand by and let you get away with this shit.
Or 2 now. I could have made a lot of money off you. Look at people like Luther Morgan. Look at people like Don Flurgandy. Those guys have started what could be very lucrative YouTube careers off your downfall. And power to them. You did the same thing with Brie Larson for fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's this like pulling up the ladder sort of thing. But like I said, you've become arrogant and a prick. I was thinking about it just after all this happened, right? And I think your problem is that you've developed what I call,
by the way,
media
it wasn't just Brie Larson, it was Jack Murphy as well. And it was relentless with Jack Murphy. And like, you know, the same tactics that he calls harassment today, he employed against Jack. And you know what? It was based when he was calling out Jack Murphy because Jack Murphy was a cuckold and a degenerate and a fraud, just like Jer is. But, you know, Bering has a really good point here. Quartering has gotten way too big for his britches and thinks that he's some sort of a god, some sort of a media conglomerate entity who doesn't stink. This definition he's put up here: media company syndrome, a progressive condition affecting content creators in which sustained algorithmic success induces the delusion that one is an institution rather than a guy in a spare bedroom talking into a foam-covered stick. Symptoms include referring to oneself in the plural. We're excited to announce the sudden appearance of a head of partnerships who is in fact just a buddy from school, and the belief that one has a brand identity instead of a webcam and an opinion. This is what's going on with the guy.
Syndrome. See, you had a YouTube channel and you got very successful. You got like 1 million subscribers. You got 2 million subscribers. You got a views. And all of that happened because you were relatable. See, a lot of people post quartering drama ask me, what did anyone ever see in Jeremy? And the answer is you were relatable. You were just a guy from Wisconsin.
That makes sense.
That's all he could ever be.
The normal guy.
Well, it's
the everyman.
I don't know if he's a normal guy, but he's a big loser that a lot of other big losers could see themselves in. You know what I mean? Like,
I was saying it as nice as possible.
Yeah.
You played with cards, you bitched about movies, that sort of thing. You're just some guy in his spare bedroom talking just like the rest of us, just like the Kino Casino, just like Yellow Flash, just like Camelot. And you're still just a prick in his spare bedroom talking into a microphone. But you've kind of developed this belief that you're like...
That's the real truth, is he's not even at the level of Tim Pool. At least when Tim Pool does it, like puts on this pretense of being something more, at least he does have a compound. Like he has all of these employees. He flies people in regularly. You know what I mean? Jeremy has none of that. He's still just in the same studio he was at the start, making the exact same slop. And his coffee company is nothing but a dropship vanity project that's never actually been worth a... It's all delusions of grandeur. There's nothing to even back this up.
Media company now. You've got all this stuff. You're a big important Now, there's nothing wrong with having staff. There's nothing wrong with having editors and that sort of shit. But you became so big and so arrogant and so media company brained that you thought your shit didn't stink. And it very much does stink. That's why you thought you could silence people who were being mean to you on the internet. But if people wanted to watch a media company like Fox News, then they'd watch Fox News. People tune into YouTube, for the most part, to watch a with a microphone talking shit in his spare bedroom. And as a fellow with a microphone talking shit in his spare bedroom, I am going to call you out and tell you the truth.
They're not your friend if they're not willing to call out bad behavior. That's what real friends do. Real friends don't expect their other friends to be locked up with them. Real friends.
This is the kill shot, isn't it? This is the end for Jer. So there it is. That's what he'd say all the time, right? That's what you're supposed to say, right? But when it was time for him to live by those words, suddenly he didn't want to have to live by those words. And suddenly his friends were expected to be in lockstep with him on everything. Nobody could disagree with him on anything, no matter how egregious it was. This to me just destroys, just demolishes Jer. And you know he's seething about this and it's bothering him.
So yeah, actually cried probably.
I think he probably did cry about it, and I won't be surprised if this weekend, when Miller time hits, when it's Miller o'clock, if we don't see him lash out at Bering in some way. He definitely will at some point in the next few days, weeks, months. It's only a matter of time until he freaks out again, because he won't be able to handle this. Like, he can't handle any slight, let alone one this devastating where he's just completely destroyed. And it's just so fair. It's so good faith what Bering is saying. It's just the truth.
You have people that want you there and will tell you the truth as they see it, not act like a spoiled brat.
Let's continue.
Now, I'm not talking about my viewers, but I'm talking about other content creators who are all snakes. I could do a 2-hour video and lay out just how much of a piece of garbage just about everybody I've worked with is.
Well, then why don't you do it? Stop being a... For sake, you've got this mentality that, like, everyone snaked you. I didn't snake you. I came to you privately. Before I made that initial video, I came to you and I said, what the is going on here? Care to explain? And you lied to me. All you did was lie to me. I even told you I was going to address it. I told you I was going to make a video. And after the fact, I'm some massive... I didn't do anything I didn't tell you I was going to do. Stop being a bitch. If you've got dirt on people and you want to get revenge, then do it. Reveal all. I don't give a because I, for the most part, am not a prick. And whatever you release is going to show that. Jeremy, do you hang out with many men? Like, do you have real friends in real life who are men? Because what you're doing right now is very female coded. Like, I haven't thought about this for months, and all of a sudden you pop back up having a subtle passive aggressive crack.
Well, it's living rent free.
That was like
this is the thing though, Bering, and this is what we all have to understand. This really, as much as like Jer has lashed out at Bering, is angry at Bering, this hasn't affected Bering at all. This was something he talked about and then he moved on from. But for Jer, this weighs on him every day. The consequences of his actions, which is that he has detractors or A-logs or critics or whatever you want to call them, analyzing his every move under a microscope, exposing his lies, exposing his scams, and it's constant and it's never ending. It all weighs on him. And so he has to find somebody to blame. And of course, he can't blame himself. He can't say, oh, maybe it was me. Maybe I f***ed up. So he has to blame Bering. He has to blame everybody else, Camelot, Yellow Flash, us, when in fact, it was his own stupid behavior that got him here. And that's the thing, like, it's rent-free in his mind. He's just thinking about it constantly. It's tough.
Months ago. It just seems like very womanly behavior, like someone who probably wouldn't get along with men. Like, I tell my mates the truth all the time. It's what blokes do. It's a thing. A disagreement isn't the end of the world. It doesn't mean I want you to die or something. I don't think you like being told the truth. And I think there's proof. See, Luke started telling you the truth, and all of a sudden, miraculously, mysteriously, Luke's off the fucking show.
See, we never even had that theory, by the way, that like Luke just started being straight up with him and all this shit, and then suddenly Luke was gone.
Well,
right?
it was always that there was a problem because Luke would not go with Jeremy's narratives. Like on the Epstein files, he was like, no, the files have to come out. Trump is shielding. He's hiding something. This isn't right. This has to come out. And like the idea that Luke should be expected to go contrary to that when he literally went to Epstein Island was the one that got the footage and exposed Little St. James, like the first guy there.
Okay. He was
Luke's
the first
entire
one there
brand.
Post the
Yes.
The way you said it, he was the first one in line.
He was the first one. Yeah. No, but the idea that he's not going to fight for that, it's like, why are you going to hire Luke on your show and bring him on your show if not to cover that angle? Like, he's the conspiracy theory guy. He was a part of the InfoWars network for a long time. He was in Alex Jones' Endgame back in the day. So, of course, he's going to go to bat on those issues. Of course, he's going to be anti-war. He's a libertarian. But Jer didn't know exactly what he wanted because he doesn't really have a coherent political ideology. Like, he doesn't really know what he is. He's a LARPer. He's a tourist in this community. Just like he was a tourist in gaming, just like he was a tourist in the anti-woke stuff. He's a tourist wherever he goes, okay? And so he put this show together with a bunch of people that are going to clash. You have a show where the co-hosts are Styx Hexenhammer and Melanie Mack. That's like oil and water. You have one guy who's a Satanist, and the other person is like a born-again Christian. And then you have Jer, who's just his political ideology can just basically be boiled down to ball-wash Donald Trump to own the left, and a guy who's going to obviously be at odds with Trump because he's a full-blown libertarian. And then you have like Hannah Claire, who's like more so like her father, who's kind of like a race realist, like trad wife type personality. And like, none of this made any sense. None of this was ever going to mesh together. And it was doomed to fail from the beginning. It was.
I respect people's time, and I don't want to bullcrap them. I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to tell you stuff that isn't going to come out to be true just because it makes you feel good. Like, a real friend tells you the truth, right? Whether you like it or not. All right? A real friend tells you the hard stuff that you're not wanting to hear. They're going to tell you, put that soda down. You know, they're going to tell you, like, hey, you got to take care of yourself, right? So
he's like telling Quartering, like, it's like, stop. He's like, stop eating, stop drinking.
Yeah, I prefer those people in my life.
Right.
If you just want to,
and it's true. You want a friend like that. You want a friend who's like, hey, man, I think you're doing that wrong.
And the truth is, it might in the moment make you seethe, but then later you got to look back on and be, okay, well, they probably made a point here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is.
Well, also, people who aren't your friend will appease you and be nice to not have drama.
Yes.
Whereas a friend will be like, hey, man, I'm going to let you know what you did there wasn't cool, and it started to piss people off. Because people there won't say shit. They'll be nice because of being nice. Your friends will tell you, hey, bro.
A show just to like be entertained and like, be lied to and told sweet little nothings. I mean, you're also a person that probably.
Look at Jer's mauled here.
Oh, he's mad. And Hannah is stressed because she's like, oh my God, Luke's saying the truth. You can't do that on this show. You can't hit Jer with a reality check on this show. And the thing is, Luke is so autistic that he will just say the truth, and he doesn't care, and he doesn't pick up on the fact that Jer is maulding because Jer will tell him to his face that he's not. And so Luke goes, okay, well, he's telling me he's okay with this. He's telling me I'm allowed to voice my opinion, but he doesn't actually recognize that Jeremy is a maulding, seething bitch. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Believes that strippers really like you too.
Yeah, so I reckon
that's a nuke on Jer, because that is him. He really thinks the strippers do like him. He really thinks that the people who work for him, who are forced to lick his ass because their livelihood depends on it, really do love him. It's not the case, man. He's delusional.
why Luke's gone. I mean, he's gone because of money troubles, but you know, he had to pick one. And Luke was his least favorite because he told him the truth. And he's not a yes man like Melanie Mack. Like literally, she's a yes man or a yes woman.
This is so solid, this part here.
Yeah, that's good, Darren. Wow!
It was just that one
It's
day.
not just us. It's not just us that think this. You know? Everybody sees this.
It might have been that I just hadn't eaten anything. And then I ended up getting anxiety about it, which made it worse. And but other than that, that was over a week ago now. So this week has been good. I survived a bachelor party. I did have a few of the ladies' White Claws.
She's an annoying woman who turns up because you pay her $500 a episode or something. I mean, Luke really hit the nail on the head with the thinking strippers like you thing. It's basically what's going on. Now, there was also this little number about a month.
This hurts way more than us or Luther or anyone.
Because it's coming from his friend. You know?
I mean,
this isn't somebody that hates Jer. That's the thing. Like it would probably be in Bering's best interest, right? To shield Jer or stay with Jer, but
it would not be in anyone's interest. Not anymore. Yeah. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore.
I saw a clip on Twitter. I thought, that's fucking me. He's talking about me. I couldn't be fucked responding, but we're here now. Let's do it.
Now, you could talk about certain quote-unquote internet friends that I thought I had over the years that were willing to turn on you for $100.
Jeremy, it wasn't $100. It was $735 and 79 cents. And you know where that $735 and 79 cents went? It didn't go towards a Cybertruck. It didn't go towards like 10 grand worth of kids playing cards. It didn't go towards a $30,000 saltwater aquarium or a dog track or whatever the you flex on your audience. It went into a high growth index fund for my daughter. So in 30 years' time when I'm old and
Jer can't retire, but Bering's been a little bit wiser with his earnings, you know.
Buddy, that's
people and fuck that $735 and 79 cents will be my daughter's 15 odd grand. I mean, that's not a bad couple of hours work if you ask me. But that's besides the point. I didn't make that video to make a profit. I made that video because it should have been made. See, there's no cabal here, Jeremy. There's no conspiracy. No. There's no fuck Jeremy plot. What's happened here is really simple. A bunch of your peers
completely
called you
organic.
Because
no one's like,
it's
hey,
not
Bering, make a video
there's
for
no,
us.
There's no big Discord group chat where everybody's directing everything against. That's not what's going on. You know what I mean? That's not what's happening, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Everybody independently all decided you were acting like a complete piece of shit and started calling you out. It's the exact same thing that happened to Jarbo. And by the way, the parallels really are there because nobody liked Jarbo either. And everybody was just waiting for the moment to felt Jarbo, right? Same thing with you. Nobody really liked you either. And people were just waiting for the moment. And the thing is, Bering may have actually liked you, probably did like you, but you've lost even him. And you don't see that as an indictment of yourself, that you lost a guy who's been in your corner for over 10 years. You see it as an indictment on him for telling you how he actually felt. That's bud.
Because you are being a prick. And now you're taking passive-aggressive jabs at people like a... I even offered several times to jump on a live stream on your channel and discuss this whole thing. If you're being treated unfairly, if we're all wrong, if this is some sort of conspiracy against you, let's get it...
I can't address anything because everyone around me gets attacked. So why do you still work with Mel or any of these other people?
Here's the problem. Jeremy is choosing half measures. He has to choose either I'm going on the attack to clear my name and fight this in the court of public opinion, and I'm going to explain my side of it once and for all, or I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to keep my head down, and I'm going to get through this. You can't just keep throwing fuel on the fire like impotently like he's doing by throwing this passive-aggressive shade at people that then reignites the controversy against you, but you make no ground in the eyes of the public, and it just makes it worse and feeds your trolls. You have to make a decision, and he's making the worst possible decisions he could. Had he actually stood his ground and started throwing punches back, I feel like he would be in 100% better place than he is now. But he didn't do that. He's choosing the worst of both worlds.
In the open, but you won't do that because you're you know what I'm going to say. But here's the thing, Jeremy, you don't have to be a this is a choice you're making. You could confront this whole thing. You could man up and address everything. Being a is not an immutable characteristic. It's just a choice. Just choose not to be a The offer's still open, by the way. Let's do it.
But most of those people that did that match the stories about what I heard about them behind the scenes.
Such.
Okay. So Bering was always a piece of shit.
Yeah, but now we're like alluding to someone
vague else DMing you about Bering. Watch out for him. He'll fucking back.
But isn't that the snake behavior to repeat vague gossip about somebody?
Yeah.
Instead of just being straightforward and direct, here, and here are my issues. Here's what I think you could do to rectify it. Instead of being like, well, I heard from so-and-so. Now, I won't tell you what I heard, but I heard so-and-so is a bad person. What does that mean? Does it mean they lie? Does it mean they're a diddler? What does that mean? You know what I mean? Well, he wants you to read into it the worst thing that you could.
He was always planning to backstab you. He was always like this. You Jer, you loser.
Jazz?
You know, people that would sell you out.
This is like narcissistic personality disorder, like to a T.
100%.
Where you literally block out any criticism and you throw it back at people. This is NPD, motherfucker.
Your lowest moment to make a single video and profit from it, you could always kind of tell. And I'm not.
Bering posts almost every single day, not about you. Do you think that video about you got more views than his usual video? His videos do very well. He makes great money. He doesn't need the one video about Jer.
There's no real profit incentive. You know what I mean?
For him, no.
Like, it doesn't.
For Bering, he does a variety of topics.
I'm gonna name
what
names,
this really is, and we've said this many times, but this is projection. Jeremy is entirely motivated by money. And he lacks the theory of mind to understand that maybe other people aren't motivated entirely by money. You know?
They know who they are.
Wait, so you're telling me that you could always tell that I was like some massive asshole and you just never did anything about it? I think that is pathetic cope. You just don't like being confronted with the truth and now you're all salty about it. You're on your period. If you want to be like internet enemies, Jeremy, that's fine. I got